Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the very first stream. Let me make sure I've got my volume down so I'm not getting double of myself of 2025 or 2023 or whatever people have been calling it. Now, I know I've started this stream a little bit early and I will be revealing the sets at 7 o'clock. Hopefully, we can start going live around 7 o'clock every Saturday. There will be a few exceptions, but Saturday is the new Monday, just like everyone's saying. Everyone's saying it. Saturday is the new Monday. I'm sure you've all heard. Now, there are a few other things. Whilst I'm about 13 minutes early, I thought that I'd like to cover in this video. First off, shout out to the new members. I haven't done it in any of the videos, but we do have a handful of new members. Shout out to Will, Andrew and Tatiana Smith, Spare Parts, and Alexander Kazimierski. I apologize if I'm pronouncing any of your names incorrectly, but what I found interesting, because we looked at this last year when we were streaming. If any of you didn't know, we streamed for pretty much October, November time, and then we took a break over Christmas. And I was interested to see which of the names would show up in the chat. And the only one that showed up was the latest member, Alexander. So I don't know why none of the other members were shown up. And do let me know in the chat if you can see any of the other members. But even that one member has gone now. Hello there to Liam, who is joining us quite early on in this live stream. We will be building sets, specifically the sets that I got 2025, my 2025 January Lego haul, Lego Star Wars haul for the most part. I've been watching so many of those January Lego store trips and Lego haul videos, but I am going to try to drag it out for another 10 minutes so a few more people can join. And the aim of this stream is to get at least 2, if not 3 of the sets built. I'll give my opinions on the sets, what I think could have been done better, what I thought of the sets, talk about some Lego Star Wars leaks. We've got a load, and I mean a lot, of really good Lego Star Wars leaks that I'm really looking forward to in the future, especially over that summer wave. Nothing really for May. Everything seems to be, well, unless May counts as the summer, I wouldn't count May as summer, but summer for Lego Star Wars is looking really, really good, and summer for my bank account is not looking good at all. There is one set that if we've got time at the end of the video, and you might have to excuse my squeaking chair if it is a problem, we'll have that changed by next week. I would like to rebuild the Ambush, Mando Ambush. I think it's Ambush on Mandalore. It might be Mandalore Ambush or Mandalorian Ambush. Ambush on Mandalore sounds about right. I would like to rebuild that. And there's a little hint towards what set we are building today. But bottom right of your screen, my left and rights have been all over the place recently. Bottom right, oh, there may be a Sonic set built. You might have seen it in the thumbnail. Liam's paying attention very clearly. Bottom right of your screen, you will see just down here, there is a Lego fund. I don't expect that to really be different at all, ever. But if any of you watching this, whether it be live or on demand, there is like super thanks or live messages or donations, whatever you want to call them, anyone that does donate, I will be putting into a fund, into a virtual piggy bank, if you will, and that will be going towards other sets to build here live on the channel. I'm not going to pocket any of it. I'm not going to use it for the Lego City, for any mock or bricklink order. What else have we used different rubricable funds for on this channel? I think that's covered about everything. But anything that goes into, there is nothing there for me. Just so you know, there's nothing down there in that corner. I'm just staring at the corner of my desk, hoping that I'm lining up with the fund. But anything that goes into that fund will be spent towards a set, most probably Lego Star Wars. If any of you actually have a set, because at 10k, we are building a UCS set. If that's looking a bit juicy towards 10k, I might try and save a little bit to go towards the UCS set. Either way, we are going to be buying a UCS set at 10k subs. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, but don't hit subscribe too soon. Let's hit that later on in the year after all the Star Wars sets around May, because that'd be a giant blow to my bank account. On the other hand, a UCS set should get all the gift with purchases. But anyway, we've got the fund, we've got the brand new members. Was there anything else to cover? Brand new setup. I've been using this in a few videos. I think my first Lego haul of 2024 had a similar orientation to this. That was back when I had the littler desk, which was probably about this size, or was it the second desk? It might have been the size of this map. And I went and got my old desk that I used to have a few moves ago and put that next to it just so I could fit all the sets on the desk. And if you noticed my Christmas haul, I'm pretty sure I did the same thing. I had the desk like this and had all the Lego boxes, some of which you may be seeing over the next few streams on the desk like that. And I'm quite comfortable like this. I can't lie. It is quite a nice way for me to sit. The Lego in front of me, me behind, and is a lot easier than having the desk lengthways with all the Lego spread out when we were building the Minecraft village, when we were doing, what else? We built animals on stream. We did quite a bit last year. And likewise, if there is anything you would like to see, feel free to leave it in a comment. I'm not obliged to do any of it, but I would definitely consider some suggestions. So Liam has asked if there are any Sonic sets that we may or may not be building today. I think we can definitely reveal that one a bit early. We're almost 5 minutes before 7 o'clock. So one of the sets that we're going to be building, and I don't think I'll be building it straight away. I'll probably leave this to be built second. And there's a big set as well, which I'm probably not going to be able. There's probably not enough time in the day left to build it. But the set we're building is the set I got for Christmas. Technically not part of my January 2025 haul. However, I would like to pick up the Shadow bike at some point soon. I'm unsure if I will, because I've also got Eggman to get, I've got Shadow, I've got Metal Sonic, and there's like a different Tails this year. There's a Super Sonic, and there was another, I think it was a Super Shadow, something like that. I'm not interested in the Tails or any of the other Sonic faces. I think even Knuckles has different faces depending on what set you get them in. I'm not really fussed about them. I just really want to get my hands on even Metal Sonic. It'd be nice to get, but it's mainly Shadow that I want. So I'll probably look at Bricklinking them later on in the year, unless there's another set that so happens to have all three of them in, which would be really, really nice, unless that did cost quite a bit. But this is going to be one of the sets, and by feeling this, it feels like there are paper bags inside. And I didn't realize I had some sixth sense for paper bags until I picked up this set. It definitely feels different to the plastic. It feels like it's less packed in and the paper bags are just slotted. That is really, really weird. I'm hearing myself and I think that's weird, let alone any of you watching. But it's very interesting how you can tell. If this is plastic bags, I am just chatting a load of rubbish. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be paper bags, which is interesting because I don't think this was bought from a Lego set. But I'm telling you, it feels like paper bags in there. I'm pretty confident there are paper bags. We do have two sets, if you didn't pick up, two Star Wars sets down here. And if any of you can guess the other Star Wars sets, I'll definitely reveal them a little bit early. But I have the chat here. You might see in the chat, that was the other thing, to do with the set fund. I think I've got a target of 10. We've got 10 super chats. That's what YouTube call them. 10 super chats, and we will open the big set on stream. That goes across this stream and the next stream. I'll do a similar thing. There's a 3-hour timer. I won't necessarily be streaming for 3 hours if we build these before. Likewise, I won't be streaming for less than 3 hours if we are still building, and especially if there are some conversations, because it tends to, especially towards the end of the stream, is when everyone joins. And I think 7 o'clock is a reasonable time. Hopefully we see a few more people hop on the stream towards 8 o'clock. And at any point, if you are watching this delayed, do remember you can watch this on demand almost. So skip to live. It's really nice to interact with a ton of views, and especially whilst building Lego, it is really, really fun. So we've got the goal going. We have the Lego Fund, which is all donations that I get whilst I am live. No matter how big or small, they will go into the live fund, and that will go towards a set. I have welcomed the brand new members, and that is another thing that we can talk about. We are so close to 7 o'clock now. And if you are, is that our first super chat? Or have I just donated to myself here? I think I'm accidentally donating to myself. Let's not try and do any of that. But members board is now full, and that means we will need a brand new members board. But I'm still unsure whether we should go with another one that's this size, or we can upgrade it, make it even bigger, such as this 32 by 32 base plate. As a way of standing it up, that's no problems. I can just use some of the micro pins on the back, or even bar elements, I suppose, should fit in the back. But I'm wondering if we should go with a 32 by 32 or if we are going to make it big, because these members, I mean, most of these were got in December. I'm pretty sure all the yellow ones were got within like the last week of 2024. So depending on how the members keep on going, we might need to go even bigger and go with a 48 by 48 base plate. And that might be a bit, I'm not sure egotistical is the right word, but we might be getting ahead of ourselves. We've gone from a small 16 by, well, not small by any means with all the members on it, but a smaller 16 by 16 stud for 2024. And then we are going to go 9 times bigger. Is that for 48 by 48 studs, which that is definitely some size difference there. But I feel like when we start the members board, I probably won't have like the master molding members on the top. Just start off with the names. This could definitely hold a ton of names, dependent on how many are long. Like I think we've got the Great Snow Blizzard, which takes up a 1x8 tile, compared to Will and KK that take up like 1x2, 1x4 tiles. So dependent on how long all your usernames are, depends how quickly we fill it up. But I think we should go big or go home. The real question is where we would put a board of this size. It's definitely needing an upgrade, but just how big an upgrade do we push? So there's something to be thinking on as we go through. If we do get any members join whilst I am live, or even over the next couple of videos, I will be 3D printing tiles still. I'm definitely liking the tiles, and perhaps we can add them somewhere. The good thing with this 48 by 48 base plate is it's the width of this unit, so we could get it behind, but I really like being able to show this off in videos, and even on a live stream I've got it just tucked at the corner there, just on screen, and it's a nice way. I know I flash up the names at the start of videos, but I think it's a nice way to remember all the members that are helping support the content here on the channel. All right, 6:59, I think it's close enough. Let's get out the Lego set. So we'll go with both of these. We've got around January 1st, 2025. One of these I picked up on collection. You might remember I made a video January 1st, posted it the same day, which I'm still getting used to doing this year. In fact, I'll get onto that again in a second. But Smith's was shut, so I went into Argos, which was nice, not too far away from it, and picked up one of the sets. And then the other set was out of stock pretty much everywhere. And I mean, Christmas, even in the run up to Christmas, you could buy these sets on any site. After Christmas, these were not available anywhere. Thankfully, I didn't order these through Amazon, because I've been waiting, well, technically a year for my Christmas Amazon delivery, but you know, 24 to 25, it's only actually been a week. Anyway, enough said. The set that I picked up first is, if you couldn't guess by the Mandalorian ambush, it's Paz Vizsla versus Moff Gideon Battle. Is it called Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon Battle, not versus? So this is a set I have genuinely wanted since it come out. I mean, the set wasn't too badly priced. I think it was a £35 set, and I got this reduced in Argos for £23. It's since gone up to £25, but I still think it is a pretty good deal. And I'm excited to build this because not only does it come with Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon in his Mandalorian armor, so we think Moff Gideon is actually gone. We'll get into that whilst we're building the set. But it also comes with 2 of the Imperial Praetorian Guards, which not only look really, really cool, but we also got a third one in the Advent calendar. And guess what? There were 3 in the scene. So even though they used some Last Jedi Praetorian link to sneak that in the Advent, I really like the fact that they got the other 2 in this set here. Hello there to Kid Wonder Stories. I also own the Mando Battle Pack and the one with the 2 Mandos and Commandos. The Mando Battle Pack, both of the Mando Battle Packs actually, we've got 2 for the Mandalorian. The other one was, I think it might have just been called the Mandalorian Battle Pack. The one from Season 1 with all the different Mandalorians. I've got them. You're not going to be able to see it. Just up on my display behind me, a whole shelf dedicated to the Mandalorians. They just look so cool. And I'm happy to get Moff Gideon in my collection. Again, the Praetorians, there's 3 in the scenes. It's nice to have 3 of them here. Paz Vizsla. How are we feeling about the brand new well, it's not brand new anymore, it's a year old technically, but the new Paz Vizsla for 2024, we got one in 2021 with the Mandalorian Forge, with the armorer, and another Mandalorian, like oh, what's his name? Din Djarin. Another Din Djarin minifigure. We've got so many Din Djarins, but I don't know if we really needed a Paz Vizsla. Kid Wonder Stories mentioned alternate builds will you build? Alternate builds will you build? It's a very bad Yoda impression. Well, we're going to build the set this week, and then next week, I think I can reveal this. It's not really a big secret. I've probably already mentioned it somewhere. I'm going to take this set and the smaller battle pack and create my own mock of the scene, which hopefully we can do a bit more diorama-esque. I'm getting diorama withdrawals. It's been a year since I built a diorama. I don't know how long it's actually been since I last built a diorama, but it feels like it's been forever. Anyway, we've got Sonic, we have Star Wars. What other set do we have that's building? So that's going to be built, that's building. Hopefully it's not building itself. I'm really looking excited to build it. But we have Knuckles Mech, we have Gideon versus Paz, and the set that we are building, maybe not next week, but the week after, to go with the Skeleton Crew finale, is the set's backwards, is the Onyx Cinder. I am so excited to build this. I got this on a pretty good deal. Had to hunt quite a bit for it. I think it was £80, which is just over a third off. And honestly, anything over 20% off is a really good deal in my eyes. That's the most you can get back from Lego during double points. Although Lego do sometimes have really good deals, like 33% off the Ghost I picked up. I've seen people get, was it double points over Christmas or something with a Dark Falcon, literally as soon as it come out. So I don't know if I'll live to regret this, but this does mean we can pick up the Dark Falcon at some point next year, similar to how we picked up the Ghost last year. So we pick up the Dark Falcon this year, which isn't next year. I'm still not used to the whole fact we're in 2025, and this is actually my 5th year of YouTube. I think it's the 5th year of YouTube. I think it's the 4th year of content creation. This YouTube account is 5 years old, which is really, really cool, but we're not going to celebrate that until later on in the year. I think I made this account sometime in October. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if that is public, but I'm pretty sure it was October something 2020. So we will be celebrating that on stream. Who knows, maybe that can coincide with like 5k, 10k, a million subscribers. That's wishful thinking, but we will be building the Onyx Cinder at some point over the next couple of weeks. And again, I think it'll be a cool time to speak about Skeleton Crew. So this is the big release for this video. And again, thanks to all the members that joined over Christmas. It really is one of the best Christmas presents. Maybe we should leave this up on screen just for anyone who does join it later on. And also the set fund, if you are just joining, we've got a set fund bottom left. All of your super chats will go to the set fund and they'll be spent for Lego to build here live on the channel rather than pocketed by yours truly. So this is my January 2025 Lego haul. I don't think it really needed a video. Again, there are some really cool sets. We've got the Arc 170, we've got Ahsoka's Eater, and we've also got, there was a non-star, not the Tyrannosaurus. It was the other dinosaur fossil from the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World theme, the Jurassic theme, and that looks really, really cool. But we will be building this Mandalorian set, so headphone users, I am sorry, it might get a little bit noisy. We do have plastic bags. I believe the Onyx Cinder also has plastic bags. If you didn't join at the height of this stream, we were testing to see if I could tell the difference between paper and plastic. That one's definitely plastic bags. I still think the Knuckles Mech is paper bags, and it looks like this set is 3 bags thick. We've got a very little sticker sheet, which is interesting. I still think Lego need to create these vertical, I guess they'd probably call them vent pieces. I can't remember what Lego call the other ones, but it's this 1x2 element that hasn't really seen a change, and it's got the grills. Oh, they're the grill tiles, the grill elements here. We definitely need something like that, but vertical, that can be used in so many different Star Wars sets, and especially Star Wars mock building. It just makes it easier than having to print out some custom stickers or decals. This is where I drop like a drawer full of Lego live on stream. But we'll start by building this set, and then next week we will be modifying it so that we can build a better scene, I guess. No offense to Lego. Hello there to Charalampos. I don't think I ever read out most of these names, so that's going to be really fun to do. But hello there. Thank you for joining us. It is pretty cool. sad to go to school. I am. Well, once you're done with school and you start earning money, be it on YouTube, be it whatever job you go into, you can buy yourself as much Lego as you like. And that's more than any reason to do anything, isn't it? But getting into this, we're starting off with Paz. And I must say, I'm really not sure how I feel about a second Paz Vizsla. I feel like the 2021 was good enough, and I'm not sure what the exact difference is. We will be taking that minifigure. I know there's a difference in the gloves. Well, mine seems to have black gloves from 2021. I believe they should be brown. I don't know if I've switched that up or if that is a mistake on like Bricklink or wherever I saw it, or I just completely missaw whatever I was reading. But I think the old ones were brown gloves, and that is one of the bigger differences between the two minifigures. By the way, I am just dumping the plastic. I'll deal with that after stream. I'm not going to go all the way over to the bin and back. But the hard part is going to be distinguishing between which Mando is the new and which Mando is the old one. Maybe I can take one of these plates. I have to remember that I've taken it before. I think I'm missing one, and use that to distinguish between the two. Still no Jon Favreau head. They've got it over in the Marvel line, but it makes sense why they want the Mandalorians to remain anonymous. Now, the torso piece, I'm sure Bricklink probably has some distinguishable features listed on the site, so it'd be interesting to compare that after this. But the torso cover looks almost identical. There is a difference on the torso, but the torso, the armor plate, and the helmet, it's very, very difficult to see any difference between... Oh no, the helmet does have extra printing. Oh, I don't think we've seen this on a Mandalorian before. I think I'm right in saying that Paz Vizsla has been overlooked as the first Mandalorian. The side of Mandalorian helmets, they have like a little bulkier bit, which is usually where the range fuse and stuff like that clip in. And Paz's is printed. Paz's is printed in a nice silvery... You're not going to be able to see this on camera, but just use your imagination, zoom right into that spot, and you can see it's silver with some really cool detailing. I actually really, really like that. Completely unnecessary. Probably will be scratched up with most people playing with it. That's a really nice feature to set the two apart. The torso already, I don't even need to take off the armor. The buttons on the pouch, bottom left, are different. And yeah, the back looks exactly the same from what I can see. It is exclusively bottom left. There are some black buttons instead of silver. I guess it is a bit less distracting. Actually, the legs are worse on the new one. That's interesting. So the leg printing... First off, the printing is so much better. These are 2021, 2024, 3 years apart, and the printing, you can tell it's a lot bluer compared to this older blue that does mix in with the grey. And I noticed that on the recent Qui-Gon minifigure. So Europe will be getting Qui-Gon in the LEGO Star Wars magazine this month, and UK will be getting it next month. I don't know if we're still on track with Germany. Germany are also getting it next month, but I know most of Europe is getting it this month. And the Qui-Gon, I think it's the torso where the neck is. I've got the Qui-Gon from 2018 and this Qui-Gon from 2024. The printing is just so good on it. The printing from Lego, honestly, they could probably go back to just giving us like plain arms and legs. Lego, do not listen to this. Do not stop giving us printed arms and legs. But they could do with how good the printing on the torso is. I don't think anyone would really be complaining, especially if we've got more minifigures in a cheaper set. But I'm enjoying the printing. It's interesting that the hip piece, not the hip piece, it's the piece between the legs. It used to be printed on the old one. There was one line printed. But on the new minifigure, it's not printed. And that's confused me for some reason. I mean, I don't really know how many minifigures it is printed on. Maybe they were trying something in 2021. I'm going to move this tablet just over here. Hopefully that doesn't obstruct any of the Lego building, just so I can see your chats a bit better than over on the side. I'm imagining you as Qui-Gon if you got the role. I don't know if you noticed, I've actually taken a little bit of inspiration with the hair. I was looking at the Qui-Gon minifigure and comparing it with the Qui-Gon actual character with Liam Neeson with the wig on. And I thought I want to hold my hair back, but let the bottom bit out. And that's exactly how Qui-Gon has it. So yes, I guess I'm embodying Kenobi. I got told earlier that my hello there, I think it was like today or yesterday's short, was spot on from the one in the movie. So, you know, Kenobi, Qui-Gon, I guess I just got to like turn to the dark side in the third act of this and just rule the galaxy. Yeah, maybe we can put that bit on hold. But the minifigure is both better and worse. If you wanted the perfect minifigure, I like the torso more on the new one and the helmet. I would take the legs off the old one, put them on the new one, and I think you've got, even though the blue printing's definitely upgraded, maybe you can just take the hip piece because you don't have much blue. Actually, the blue's a little better on the old hip piece. No, it's just the line I got it in. It's better than the new one. But take the old hip piece, put it with the new legs. No dual molded legs. Paz. Does Paz have blue boots? We are nitpicking here. Let's get on with building the set. This is indeed the way. And starting off, we haven't even finished with our Paz minifigure. I noticed that the backpack as well doesn't have the 1x2 with the clip. I think the weapon is just held separately and uses one of the new elements, but I'll be able to tell you that in a minute when we've actually built it. I really enjoyed them. I'm really enjoying The Mandalorian. Has it over? I feel like the first act is over. If you didn't see, oh wow, Mandalorian finished a while ago. No, did Mandalorian still finish before I was doing Lego on this channel? How many years has it? I wonder if anyone can tell me in the chat. How many years has it been since Mandalorian ended? Like the main Mandalorian. I suppose we got Book of Boba, which had Mando in. But no, Book of Boba would have been before the Mandalorian. Book of Boba was my first run at doing full-fledged YouTube videos, I think. Because initially I was just doing shorts, and then for Boba, I started doing full videos. I did a finale prediction, and then that was it. I think actually, did I do a finale prediction and an April Fool's video? I think I might have made it to April. It was either like the end of February or the start of April. And then that was it for a year. Took a break, had a move going on. So I didn't just choose to stop publishing. But then I come back with an April Fool's video. And it was something along the line of, what if Kenobi smoked the death sticks or something like that. I don't think the video is still out there. I tried to make it a lot cleaner for my Lego videos. Maybe this April I'll republish that video and have to re-edit it, make it look a bit better. But that was a really, really fun video to make. What if Kenobi got high on death sticks? Because why not? It was really, really fun to do. But I did that video. Oh, wow. This blaster doesn't actually use any. Maybe it was the old one that used. No, you know what it was? It wasn't any of these. It was one of the CMFs. It was the, was it M-Tron? Yeah, it was the M-Tron that you, no, it wasn't the M-Tron minifigure. That used one of the other pieces. There was another CMF minifigure. It might have been the Arctic Explorer from the same wave as the M-Tron, which is just behind me somewhere, but I'm afraid if I go to that end, they'll just all fall off. Anyway, Paz is now complete. We are about 15 minutes in, and what a buy some death sticks. Yeah, it was a hilarious video, not only to make, it was a period of what ifs. If you've watched Marvel's series called What If, which, was I before What If? Could I say I influenced Marvel to make What If? Is that too big a stretch? What did they publish What If? I think Visions was confirmed before I made What If. No, Visions was confirmed after I made What If. And then I think there was rumors about the whole Visions thing. Was What If first? Anyway, the wrong color. I made a ton of What Ifs. I think my most popular was What If Padme didn't go to Mustafar, and it played out, or perhaps Padme stayed on the ship and then Kenobi did it, and that played out pretty well actually. I think Padme was more on Anakin's side than we see in the concept art of Revenge of the Sith, where she tries to stab a Jedi Knight with a blade, which would have been really, Anakin wouldn't have like defended himself against Padme, but I digress. There were some really, really good times. Google says the last Mandalorian episode was April 23rd. So I would have been doing a few shorts. I must have just finished around that time. And that's a long time ago. That's like a year and a half before. No, that's half a year. Oh, I must have been doing, when was my, I can't remember when my break was. So I was doing short form content in 21. I then went on to do long form in 22, took the year break, come back for 23, And then towards the end, August, September time, I think it was, it might have been slightly, no, I think it was end of August time. Then I switched over to Lego content because honestly, the Star Wars fan base is up and down. It's a roller coaster. And when you're making videos on it, I feel like I was a lot more up and down. This feels exactly like the battle pack I'm building here. I hope the walls get a little bit higher as we go on. But it was a really, really fun time nonetheless. I moved over into Lego content and I did a short on the ending of The Mandalorian. The reason why this tangent has been brought up is because, to link it back to the start, we are getting somewhere here, is because when I was doing the Star Wars content, I did a short linking. In fact, I was the first person I saw post it, but between me recording it, because I didn't post videos straight away, they were mistakes that past me made. I post as soon as I can. I post most of my shorts, with the exclusion of like the first week of January. I didn't know if I'd be making videos as often as I am, so I did schedule a bunch of shorts. I think I pretty much recorded like 5 shorts in a day. You'll notice I have the same top on in a lot of them, but with the Mandalorian ending, let's get somewhere here. I think it ended with a circle closing in on Mandalorian, which is how in Phantom Menace, in New Hope, Phantom Menace, it closes in on the ball that Boss Nass is holding. I think it might close in on one of the characters. In A New Hope, it closes in on the heroes receiving their medals. And in The Force Awakens, oh, that is a tricky one. I haven't watched Force Awakens as much as the rest, so I'm not as well versed. But in The Force Awakens, it also ends in a similar way. But what if Star Wars actually had good sequels and shows? I will admit, I don't think it made a video. I was going to post a video about The Last Jedi and recording it. Last Jedi definitely taught me a few things about Star Wars. And I feel old saying this, but the older I get, the more I respect The Last Jedi, because when The Last Jedi come out, it wasn't the Luke. I was so heavy into Legends content at the time. That's the Luke Skywalker I was expecting to see. Force Awakens hit a climax, and The Force Awakens is a good movie. It's not prequels. Prequels is very Lucas. The originals, you can see the other directors seeping in, especially I've looked through a fair amount of the behind the scenes books, and it's very collaborative. You can tell where things don't add up, and the whole Leia remembering her mother, little bits like that that are just seeping through. That's the popular one that everyone knows. And then Last Jedi was a very different take, but I feel like Force Awakens and also Mandalorian, Clone Wars, even though Lucas was on Clone Wars, I feel like you could see what was Lucas and what was Filoni or some of the other creators. We don't know who is behind half of these ideas. It could be something that someone just says one day on set, and one of the heads are like, you know what, that's good, we'll use that. That's a good idea. Sometimes they can go uncredited, not by means of being like spiteful or anything. Some people genuinely don't want the credit for these things because, I mean, they see how the Star Wars fans are on places like Twitter and Reddit. Not to say everyone is the same, but it is quite a hard environment to get used to if you aren't already in that space. Anyway, I was talking about The Last Jedi. Yes, Rian Johnson's different interpretation of Luke. Now I just look at it and go, you know what, it ain't half bad. It introduced us to Porgs, which was allegedly a way of getting around all of the seagulls, I believe, on set, which is a genius idea, just to create an animal for them in Star Wars. Also gives Luke a bit of company and something to snack on wherever he... My fiance is moderating this video. She absolutely loves Porgs, and she's not going to like the fact that I said that. But we do see a few of those jokes across like every bit of Star Wars media. There's a Porg being taken as a meal. But yeah, it definitely opened my eye to the fact that other people are allowed to have and think whatever they want about Star Wars, and it shouldn't change the way I see it. I don't dwell on The Last Jedi, but at the same point, some of the things Luke does in The Last Jedi, and especially that set up for Rise of Skywalker, a load of people don't like Abraham's work, and that's fine, but what he did for Star Wars was definitely pretty interesting. Anyway, long tangent. Mandalorian ended like A New Hope. like Phantom Menace, like Force Awakens, and it showed like the first act of the Mandoverse ending. Then we got hit with Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew. No, that can't be it in like 2 years. Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka. Have we had anything? We've got to have had something else. If Mandalorian ended April 23, that's coming up to 2 years. We had Ahsoka, we had Skeleton Crew. I guess we've had a few things in between. Young Jedi Adventures, I will admit, I do quite like. It's really, really entertaining. There's been... Is that it for the Mandoverse? Because I think we're in Act 2, and it would be really nice to see where the alleged movie... I think it's confirmed. I don't think it's alleged anymore. I think the movie is confirmed. We just don't know when it's coming out. It'd be interesting to see where that will be going. But you're part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take him away. I've also built... Some things just don't make videos, and some of these aren't popular enough. And then someone will say anything. Last year, we're talking probably about October time, I was building a few extra clones to go on my clone display, and I built the Imperial from that scene, which I believe is similar to the Imperial in the Star Destroyer that came out last year. I can't remember the Imperial's name. I'm not going to dwell on it too hard, but there's so many characters that Star Wars haven't given us, and this ties back. We're going to do the whole loop back to Paz Vizsla somehow. I don't know how I do it. It's a superpower at this point. We built this much of a set in like half an hour and gone on so many different Star Wars tangents. We'll come back to Dave Filoni and the crew as well. But whilst we're on the topic, there are so many characters that we could have got. Paz works with the scene, but is Paz the only minifigure that works with the scene? Could we have had Koska Reeves and Axe Woves? We can create them with a battle pack. They're not perfect. I might decal some custom minifigures in the future, but there's a few minifigures, to say the least, that come to mind when we're looking at Mandalorians. So many Mandalorians. There's the group of Mandos as well on the surface. We could have got them in the battle pack with some commandos, because the commandos do kind of attack the surface. Now, I don't think we see any commandos on the surface. That might be a problem. But we definitely see some Imperial ships, and that alludes to a fight on the surface that we then find out is inhabitable. Potentially, okay, they would have had to argue their way a bit more than this. Either way, having what's his name? Having Moff Gideon in the set, and one of the guards, two of the guards, in fact, is a really good idea. I don't think we can complain about Paz Vizsla. As for, I mean, troopers do have physical waist capes and arm and leg printing. Arm and leg printing is really, really nice, especially when we get it on figures like troopers, clone troopers. We got it on 5s in the Tantive Boarding set. I think it was an anniversary minifigure they were going all out for, but especially when we get bonus minifigures that are really cool, it is really, really nice to see. But to go back with Dave Filoni, I think everything that has come out of Lucasfilm since the Disney takeover is what I would consider sort of Kathleen Kennedy. I think Kathleen Kennedy took over before Disney. I'm not exactly sure, because Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney. He was still owner of it. But I think Kathy Kennedy was still some sort of head figure. She might have not been as big as she is under Disney, but I think she's done a pretty good job. And yeah, a few things have been taken out of context. I like Dave where he is in the creative role. Someone said in the chat to give him director position, director power, something like that. And I think definitely having DC is a great example of this. James Gunn for DC is, I can't remember what he's called, but he's sort of the showrunner. He's the Feige of Marvel, and having someone like that in Star Wars could be really, really helpful, because we've got Vane show up in Skeleton Crew. That's not really a spoiler. I mean, he's not really played a big role, and that's going to be the argument. Vane's been in Skeleton Crew the whole time. If you didn't realize that and have watched the very first episode, you might not have been in the very first episode. If you've watched Skeleton Crew episode 1 and 2, and don't notice Vane, he's in the background. He's just another pirate in the background, a nice Easter egg to Mando, and he hasn't done anything so far. I don't know what episode we're on. I've watched all the Skeleton Crew episodes that are coming out, and when we build this ship, we'll get into more spoiler territory for it. So don't worry, we're not going to spoil Skeleton Crew, hopefully. But Vane does show up in the background, kind of, and he played, I guess he didn't really, he played a pirate in The Mandalorian. It wasn't a massive role, but he did show up in The Mandalorian, and there's been no reference to his character having any sort of importance. And it's a little disappointing, I think, because I'm expecting, I thought I missed a piece. I'm expecting Vane to be some character, not literally some character in the background, but actually to have an impact. Skeleton Crew's all about pirates, and if you swap Vane out for Kithaba or one of Jabba's other henchmen that somehow survived the salvage, because I don't think anyone actually died on the salvage explosion. Well, we're seeing more characters escape and flee, considering the only other skiff was, well, technically there were two other skiffs. Jabba had an emergency skiff that Bib used to escape, which in one of the novels, one of the comics, he saved himself. But we're seeing other characters, and because it's in the books, perhaps he did take a few of the other people with him. Anyway, I digress again. Vane hasn't really had much importance in Skeleton Crew. He hasn't really done anything. And I think now, I know Filoni is, I don't know really what he's doing on Skeleton Crew, but I know he was quite close with Favreau and everyone on The Mandalorian, in Ahsoka and everything else. It would have been nice to have seen Vane have a bit more, perhaps even like First Mate, or instead of, I don't remember names, so I can't spoil anything, but perhaps he is like a captain or has his own band of mercenaries, or he's a rival pirate crew, something like that, just to give him some importance. I don't know what the next couple of episodes are going to hold, and I hope he is important. This is spoilers for the finale. Vane is actually the man behind something. I don't know yet what. They haven't given clues to anything really, but he is the one that they are looking for some reason, and he turns out to be the Skeleton Crew. Perhaps Vane rises armies from the dead, and he is actually the leader of the Skeleton Crew. Again, this is a load of rubbish. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and this is too big. But I just want Vane to have some importance, not just because I bought the ship and I own the minifigure, but for Vane's sake. You know, I want him to be someone. I want him to go places in the world and, you know, get some more experience or something. I don't know. I just want Vane to be something important. Sticker time. And it's leading to nothing at the minute. It's just there, another character, and I feel like they could have have him run off. Is Dr. Aphra still alive at this point? This is like 5 to 8 years after Return of the Jedi, and I know Dr. Aphra's alive before Return of the Jedi and in the event slightly after, I think. I've not read a single Dr. Aphra comic, but I used to love watching videos of people just reading the comics and explaining the different storylines, because Aphra is such an interesting... Aphra is the Indiana Jones of Star Wars, and I know a load of people draw comparisons between Indiana Jones and Han Solo for Harrison Ford. They do definitely have some very similar mannerisms, but fully, Dr. Aphra is the archaeologist. I don't know if she's the archaeologist or her partner is, but there's definitely an archaeologist somewhere in there. There's ties to Han Solo as well. Kira shows up, and there's some really great stories. But having someone like Filoni, director, power, I mean, Star Wars shows what happens if you give someone too much power, you know, ruling the empire and the galaxy and all that. So maybe not too much power, you know, but having someone be the creative head and just draw everything in. Vane needs something that can make him stand out, some importance. He needs a role. He needs some sort of motive, perhaps, because as far as we're aware, he's just been thrust into this new universe with Skeleton Crews and Armies of the Dead. I'm pretty sure that's Return of the King, not Return of the Jedi era, but one way or another, I would love to see Vane have something. Just throw him a bone, let him run with it. Don't even reveal it in Skeleton Crew. Maybe what they're doing is they're going to leave it off on some sort of cliffhanger And Vane's the only one to survive the second pirate massacre. And then they announce Vane, a Star Wars story. We didn't get Boba, we didn't get Solo 2. They sort of done away with a Star Wars story after the sequels. And to be fair, they weren't really making much money. But, you know, Vane, one of the most popular characters in Star Wars. Maybe that's why every single store in the UK retired the Pirate Snub Fighter, which actually I've got here. Hopefully nothing falls down on me. I had an Eater edging closer to the shelf. But this ship here is an amazing ship. I wonder how this sizes up. I don't think we see any Snub Fighters in the show Skeleton Crew. Pretty sure we haven't seen any Snub Fighters, but we could probably size up the Onyx Cinder. We'll get a scale for this. Also, the reason I'm not building a mock today is I am going to weigh this set. I feel like it's been ages. We'll keep this down here. I feel like it's been ages since I've actually built a brand new set, and waffling on for half an hour, I can probably see why. I do like talking more than building sometimes on this stream. But and nice little bit of ASMR. We'll move these spare pieces, plenty of spare pieces. Don't know if I said that or not. There is a ton. See ya. And I've lost my train of thought with the ship scales. Oh yeah, we are going to scale this up. We're going to weigh this. I haven't weighed a set for ages. I don't think I've built a set out of the box for ages. These are really, really nice pieces. And I know not everyone agrees, but I do like the different textures Lego bricks get. But with the Mandalorian, with Vane, having someone that could tie it in. And I don't think Filoni's actually fit for the role. Nothing against Filoni. Please do not dislike, report, and unsubscribe and all that. I think Filoni needs to stay in his creative role in terms of, you know, thinking up all these ideas. We actually need someone else. And before we get to that, I'm just going to answer a question from Kid Wonder Stories. How to send photo? How it's written in good English, it just comes out of my mouth mixed. So this is all on me. How do I send you photos? Because I want to make a drawing as you as a Jedi and send. So YouTube contacted me a while ago saying that they were coming out with a brand new feature. Brand new feature? Okay, it might not be brand new. They might have copied it from someone else. But, you know, as far as I'm aware, it's a brand new feature where you could all... It's like the community tab. You know, when you click on my channel and you can go into community and see the images I send, it's something like that for all of you, for all of the viewers and for anyone that wants to interact. I don't know if it's like just for subscribers or something. Hairpiece and helmet. This is amazing. If only we got Favreau's head and hair for Paz Vizsla, that would have been quite fun. Sort of like Miles Morales and Spider-Ghost in the new Spider-Verse set, which I'm still hoping for a CMF off. But yeah, YouTube were meant to be launching a feature where there was an open community tab and it was meant to allow viewers and fans to post content like images and I think link other videos and stuff like that. Hello there to Jeff, who's joining us in the stream. We're just talking about brand new YouTube features that allow you to interact, post, basically community posts. If you have posted a community post, you sort of know what that's like. If not, you can go over, check that out after the stream ends. But I don't know if we have a time for when that is going to be rolled out, because I think that could be really, really cool. Does Paz have any sort of weapon, or have they sat him on the turret? Oh, he's got one of these little bombs, these thermal detonators bombs. Yes, a Star Wars bomb. But I don't know when YouTube are actually rolling that feature out. So I will let you know. I'll probably make a community post about it or something like that. And hopefully we'll see that soon, because they contact us. I think the first I heard was like the 14th, the 13th, I want to say, of October for the 3-minute shorts. And we waited for that a while. And we finally got them in a couple days ago. I think it was just after Christmas they rolled that in, which there were a few problems YouTube had to sort out. I'm not exactly upset about it. It's nice to get really excited about something. I don't know if you can send images across Instagram. My moderator and fiance has just pointed out I do have an Instagram account. It will be linked in the chat in just a second. And you can also bookmark my link tree as well, where I should have my Instagram account, my Facebook account, my Pinterest account, my YouTube account, a few like affiliate links and that as well if you do want to support the channel. And I'm making a purchase anyway. I wouldn't say make a purchase to support the channel, but if there is something you're buying, you might as well use an affiliated link. If you are on Fortnite, be sure to use code MOLDY in the item shop if you are making any purchases. Again, oh, that's not right. I'll put it on upside down. I don't even think I'll be able to get this one out, but I have a few affiliated. I should probably put the Fortnite code over on my link tree just in case anyone's wondering and decides to go to the link tree. So if you could send the image. Oh, I've missed a chat from Jeff. How are you today? I am good, thank you. How are you? But if you would like to send the image over to Instagram, then yes, I will check it out. I'm currently using my phone to record, so I don't know if I'm able to view it. I have to try and see if I can view it after building this. But yes, I'd love to see any sort of fan art or Jedi me. There was a filter on See ya, kids. Wonder Stories. Got to go for lunch. What are you having for lunch? If you're still around. But if you'd like to post any sort of, I put code Moldy into my dad's item shop. Thank you very much, George. Yeah, it's a good point. To be fair, I should probably let other like family and friends know about me having a code. So I'll remind myself to do that after this. Oh, I'm sure I'll remember it. I'll look back to it at some point. But with the fan art, maybe we could even have, I don't think I've got any space on the wall. I really am looking around. Maybe next to my monitor I can have a little like fan art display and that for the little Lego drawings or anything you want to do. Yeah, be sure to send them over to my Instagram account. I'll try to remember to look at them ASAP. I don't think I have anything other than YouTube on my phone. However, I'm on the computer enough, so I should be able to view them all. We've just hit 10 likes. Oh, lovely. We've hit 10 likes on this video. I do have it up, but I get very distracted. I'm sure you've probably seen that by now. And we're using, I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember the old like city police stations and that they bought out around 2010, that region. We've got one. Oh, we already have. We already have one of these bricks down. I should have mentioned this early, but we have one of these bricks with the groove in the middle. Now, I can't see when this will be used. I think my mind is about to be blown with one of the pieces here. I didn't realize that go together. But what this allows is for a plate to be put in. Normally, you have some sort of specialized door or something that can go in. But I believe that is what's going to be used as the feature. I think it will be somewhere like here. So it's the other side of the 2x4. I think it's probably going to be about that wide. And then we'll have a door to slot in, and that will allow us to lift it up. So that's going to be really, really fun because I never actually got any of the old police sets, but my brother got one of the, I got, what year would it have been? It must have been like 2011, yeah, because 2012 we were both getting Lego Star Wars sets. It must have been 2011 I would have got some big Lego set. I think I might have got like some sort of fire engine or some hospital scene or that. And my brother got the police station to go with it, and it had these really cool garage doors that I remember playing with for hours. That's really, really fun and it kept me entertained for hours at least, and my brother. But loads of fun memories building Lego. But yes, 10 likes on the video. Thank you very much. Please remember to drop a like. I might as well like my own stream. I'm sure there's nothing wrong with that. I do enjoy reading the chat, and that is part of the stream. But we've got the door. How am I? Instagram. Let's go for lunch. Hello there, Fernando Rodriguez. Oh, Fernando. I think there's a footballer called Fernando, isn't there? That name rings a bell, and I'm not quite sure why it is, but that name rings a bell for something. Speaking of football, I don't know how many of you are in the UK or follow UK British football, Premier League, but West Ham did play today, which is my club, which is why I've got the top on, and we lost to Man City. We lost to Liverpool last week. Man City, not a good run, hard row of teams, but it's City are definitely up. I didn't think City would score as many goals as they did. It's nice to have technically got two of them. Oh, Fernandez, yes. Fernandez is who I'm thinking about. I think that's spelt pretty much correctly. I hope that's spelled correctly. That's how I would spell it. Fernandez is who I'm thinking of. Oh, Fernando Rodriguez Fernandez. Hello there, anyway. And I thought for a second we had a footballer in our chat, but what was I talking about? Football, yes. Technically 3-2. Now, hopefully no one is a fan of Premier League football in the chat. I'm going to say it's 3-2 because our players scored 2, their players scored 3. It doesn't matter what net it was in. It was technically 3-2, not 4-1, 3-2, and that's what I'm going to tell myself. That's how I'm going to sleep tonight. But do we have fans of sport, of football, of soccer, of American football, anything in the chat? Because I follow a little bit of football, not as much as I used to, but there are so many sports. We've got, what are the popular sports? Rugby. Yeah, well, let me know if you are a fan in the chat. Anyway, back to the set. It is a really good set. It's definitely feeling like an extension to the battle pack, and I feel like I probably should have built this set before the battle pack, because the battle pack's an extension of this rather than this being an extension of the battle pack. But because I'm building it and it's fairly similar to some of the archways and some of the rock work, I don't think there's a panel in the battle pack set. So I guess there's a bit more detail in the battle pack set, but it does really remind me of that. So I think these are going to go very, very well together. And time for rock number 2. But if you didn't catch at the start of this live stream, we will be mocking this, combining both of these sets. If we have enough time, I know we're already about 45 minutes into it. I don't know how long I'm going to stream here. I could probably go another like 2 hours, so we can get this finished, get the Knuckles mech built, and also the battle pack, and then we'll be combining them next week in a follow-up stream, and then building the Onyx Cinder. We might flip it around dependent on how much time I've got and dependent on what I want to build when, I guess. But take a look at this, just like I predicted. Again, I'm not sure how. Can you zoom in? Oh, you can zoom in on a live stream. Oh, would you look at that? I've made a members little BTS that will hopefully be out in a few days if there are any members waiting for it. And it's caught up now, so I've just zoomed in. If you zoom into it and take a look just down here, you'll be able to see, I'm trying to keep this as still as I can. You'll be able to see the complete opposite of what's on this hand side. And I assume we're going to build it up the same, and that will be what's holding the door. But I recorded a little members BTS before this to help with setting up streams if you do want to do streams. I do a few different BTS videos for members, and I was talking about a few different things in that. But whilst I was setting up, I've completely lost my trail of thought. I need to have so maybe I should put my headphones on and listen back to what I was saying as I was saying it. That's a special stream, that would be, because I don't think I'd be able to speak consistently with that. But I was saying something in the video that must have been important enough to bring up in this stream. But who knows? I've forgotten about it now. But I recorded that literally about an hour ago, just before we went. Well, we were live an hour ago. We'll say an hour and 15 minutes ago. And there are a ton of other members behind the scenes. What else have we done? We've done water slide decals and how to apply them, how to design them as well, which is something that I think is really interesting if you are into mock building. Minifigures are expensive. Being able to make your own is a really good skill to have. But there's a few different things that we've done now, and there'll be a few things in the future. If there's anything that members would like to see, drop it in the comments for any of those videos, and I'll be sure to get that video out when I can. We've got also, I am building, I don't want to say too much about this, but I'm building a really big mock that it will hopefully be out in the next couple of days. It's part of a brand deal, nice sponsored video to start off the year. And honestly, the mock has nothing to do. It's sponsored, which is how I got all of the bricks, but it is a really, really nice build, and I cannot wait. I cannot say too much, except for the fact that I have lost this piece. Have I? Okay, this is where the zoom feature does not come in handy. If you zoom in right here on this piece, you'll be able to see a control panel on the top here, and the control panel is not meant to be on there. That is meant to be a plain tile, and the control panel is needed here. But there is a piece used in that, and it's, if anyone was a fan of Lego Star Wars, oh, how long ago? It would have been 15, we'll say 10 to 20 years ago. If anyone was a fan of Lego Star Wars 10 to 20 years ago, you might remember a little cockpit piece that had the same display that Luke's had in A New Hope, mostly used for the original trilogy sets, and had like the little visor, you know, when the X-Wings and all the other ships are going down the trench, and then you've got all the lines, which is some sort of simulation. It's similar to what you'd see in like the Tron movie and stuff like that. That design, it was on a black 2x2 slope element, which has been recently updated 2 years ago now, 2023, September 2023, so a year and a half, for the Yavin Ceremony set, and I completely did not realize it hasn't been used since. We haven't really had any ships it could be used for since, so I'm interested to see if that will be any different in this year. But it got updated. The printing is a lot clearer. Basically the exact same image, just a lot clearer, and it's on a grey brick rather than a black, because Star Wars is trying to be a little less black and more colourful now, I guess. But it's interesting to see a few different older elements and printed pieces slowly returning. We've recently also seen, if anyone saw my video on the new elements that can be used in Star Wars MOCs, in fact, I can bring up the exact name of the video now, can't I? So if a few days ago I posted a video, brand new 2025 Lego elements. We went over 6 new elements that Lego have released this year and how they could be used in Star Wars sets and different MOC builds. And there are some really cool builds, really cool pieces that can be used in different MOCs, like a new bonnet, a new hood for a car that's got a little sunroof in it, which has been used in like every single Lego Star Wars set. And we've also got a new slope, which makes it so much easier to use in tighter spaces. We've got a new base plate with a hole, which isn't too interesting. Go check out that video to see all of the new pieces. But it's interesting to see all of the older pieces that have been refurbished. For instance, one of the pieces was a window, a 1x3 by 2 brick window. In fact, I have all the pieces just in the drawer behind me, so I can probably pull out the piece that I'm talking about. We got this window element here, so you can see it's a small window element, but there was a piece released in the 60s to 80s that is the exact same size and has a different detailing on the front. It's a proper old style brick, doesn't have the full bottom to it, and we haven't seen it since like 1980. It might have been like 1984 or something like that. In fact, the only time this piece come up in white, which is the color I've got it here, was in a Weetabix promotion in the UK. Cost something like £4 at the time. Cost like 70 quid now because, you know, collectors and Lego. I'm still holding one of the windows. But it's really interesting seeing the older pieces coming back, especially Blacktron's got a set now, so they've probably bought a few other pieces that they might not use in the set, especially black and yellow colored pieces, and use those in the set. We've also got a load, there's a load of yellow bricks in that set. I do have to say, there is a load of yellow bricks in the Blacktron set. You'd think they'd mostly go with black and the original ship as well. Let's get this down whilst we're building this other set, especially with the Blacktron being Blacktron, not black and yellow Tron. I feel like, there we go, create a bit more space, feels a bit open, and you can stare at the very beautiful clone wall. But especially with Blacktron being Blacktron, you'd expect it to be black rather than black and yellow. They might have slightly overdone all of the yellow pieces. Might have slightly overdone all of the yellow pieces and just gone a bit too heavy on the yellow side. But yeah, I really like how they're redoing the sets. They're not for me. I wouldn't pick them up. I didn't grow up with these themes, but definitely if I had any of these space sets or Blacktron sets, if they did a Power Miners, if Lego come out and did an updated Power Miners set, I think I would be in a Lego store day one to try and pick that up. This is, oh yeah, I was doing something wrong, but I feel like the nostalgia, Lego is hitting hard on the nostalgia of having Lego, buying Lego bricks. Am I missing a piece, or am I just missing a few brain cells? Oh, brain cells. Oh dear. Well, we've got the frame of the door. I assume the last piece is going to be the turret and the door, because once we fit all of these elements on, I'm not sure what else there really is missing from it. It's actually really nice the way they do this door. But back to Mando Season 3, looped it around. We've gone, well, we started with Mando Season 3. We've gone through everything in between, around, and everywhere else. But Mando Season 3, Paz Vizsla in this scene, definitely an important minifigure, but is it one they needed to put in this set? And if so, it's a very similar problem to the problem. Is it a problem? We're talking about a Lego set. It's not a problem. It's a very similar debate, very similar something or other to the skiff, because in the skiff, we get Boba Fett, and then we get Luke, Han, Lando. Do we get 4? No, we get more than 4 minifigures. Chewbacca, we only get 5 minifigures in that set. Hello there from Mania Bricks. Can't stick around long, but wanted to pop in and say hi. Hello there. I really like your short that you posted whilst you're here, with the truck going in one side and then the F1 truck coming out the other side. That was really, really cool. And I've got a future mock that might use something similar, so definitely stick around to check that out. We are building the Mandalorian set if you're interested. But speaking of Mandalorian and all the minifigures in this set, the skiff had a very, very similar I'd definitely have to give it a go now. I'm so intrigued to see how that would work for a Star Wars build. But with the skiff, they gave us a Boba Fett. They gave us, what else did they give us? They gave us a few heroes. I don't think they gave us any other villains. And it's a similar, in fact, it's the opposite situation here. We've got a Paz Vizsla, and then we've got a Moff Gideon, and we've got 2 of the guards. I feel like one more Mando would have been perfect for this set, but it seems there's a limit. And if we did get a Mando and didn't get another guard, I'd be saying the exact opposite, how I would sacrifice Paz for one of the guards, ironically enough. But the balance between Lego minifigures is a hard one indeed. Much like the balancing of a Lego sticker, it takes a lot of effort, and sometimes you just can't get it perfect, so you just got to give it another go. And Lego have definitely been improving over the 15 odd years I've been collecting Lego Star Wars sets. Well, 2025, it's 16 years this year, so 16 years January 1st, so just gone 16 years, which feels like an awful long time. I know it's not that long, but when it's like 80% of my lifespan, it feels a lot longer than it probably should be. Am I missing? No. And I don't really know who I would replace Paz with in this set. I think we could have had, Cosca Reeves, Axe Woves. We got the Fleet Commander that showed up for one scene. Axe Woves and Cosca Reeves had a bit more story, a bit more to them than the Fleet Commander, who did, I'm pretty sure, just show up for one scene, maybe 2. They might have been at the end as well, and when the forge was lit, 3. So they were in a few scenes, but right at the end. Whereas Cosca Reeves have been with us since we bumped into Bo-Katan. So maybe there was a plan set for these minifigures. We didn't get it. That's fair enough. I just really hope that we get a few more characters, a bit like the Commandos, a bit like the Guards in this set. They don't appear in any other set, but Lego have definitely gone out their way to give us some new characters and some new molds as well. This helmet, I think, is different to Gar Saxon's. Actually, Gar Saxon, it is different, because Gar Saxon has more of a claw on the top of the head. Funny way to describe it, but as more of a claw, this is more of just spikes, sort of like studs on a football boot, to link it back to earlier's football discussion. But it's nice to see a few of the minifigures. We are getting up to 13 likes. Can we push 15 likes? I know one of those was me, so 12. So can we push 16 likes? And if we hit 16, can we push 21? And so on and so forth. We've got another crate from the Battle Pack, which houses our thermal detonator, aka the Star Wars bomb. And this goes straight at the front. I think I still have one of these built by my ATTE. I've got one of these on display. I really like these little crates. And this just sits. Does it just sit, no studs? I'm going to stud it in because I'm sure I'll be picking this up to show off the door. Oh, I've got it the wrong way. It does stud down at the front here. This isn't just on stream. I'm genuinely like this when I'm building Lego sets. But we're on to bag 3, and it's only been an hour and a bit for any of you staying from the very start. And this should be our final. I got worried there. It should be our final minifigures, which I thought we missed out on. I don't know if Moff Gideon's got a brand new hairpiece. I know we've seen the same hairpiece before, but it looks like it's just a bit more detailed, especially at the back. So that'll be a check for Bricklink later on, but it's nothing special, really. We've got another 2 guards, and if you did pick up the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar, yeah, I could have put them back in the box, couldn't I? I could have been filing these bags in the box. Well, at least I know for the next set. But if you did pick up the Advent Calendar, you will have guard number 3, which will make your scene accurate to the movie. Is it accurate with 2 guards? Yeah. Is it accurate with 1 guard? Yeah. As long as you don't have 4 guards. If you have 4 guards or more guards, 4 guards or more guards, more guards or 4 guards, then it slightly loses its accuracy. But we actually get weapons with this. Did we get a weapon? Did we get a weapon in the Advent? We might have got a weapon in the Advent. I might be missing the weapon for that one. I'll have to check that after this video. But the weapons are pretty straightforward to build. They're a lot easier than the ones we saw. Are they easier? I think they're a little easier than the ones we saw in the Last Jedi sets, because they had a few different blades and elements, but we just got a few studs and cones attached to one of the long Maul lightsaber bars. Really nice to be getting this piece elsewhere. Another example of that was in the Ghost, where we got the Inquisitor blade as one of the... I'm not even showing off these minifigures. It's no good them looking at me. They got to be looking at the camera. And you've also got the 2021 Paz Vizsla there. But we also, with the weapons, it's nice to be getting a few of these different weapons because they're not anything special that needs a specific mold in Lego, especially all these electricity bits. There are a few elements you can use which look cool in MOCs, but as Lego goes, I think just including a few studs really does give them something. It's better than them missing a weapon like that guy, little guy over there. And I talk so much on these streams, I should probably keep this a bit closer. But as I was saying, with these 3 guards in the actual scene, we got Gideon. Was Gideon there with Paz? I don't think Gideon showed up yet. So the Praetorians, we see more Praetorians with Mando and Grogu towards the end. Only 3 with Paz Vizsla. I'm pretty sure, unless someone wants to correct me in the comments. And oh, that's one-sided. You have a stud. Is that a stud on the other side? We've got another UCS lamp. That's spoilers, that. But we do get 3 in the scene with Paz, but Moff Gideon doesn't show up until Paz is ended. So is that what this stud is in the middle? I know they've got Paz sort of positioned ready for a fight. I'm going to have to rewatch this after I've built this before I make a video on it. By the way, the sticker sheet has been used. We got the screen just around the corner here. We've also got 2 stickers on the middle of the door and 2 above the door. And that's the 5 stickers in the set, which is really, really nice. But I feel like the door's very forward. I know the door's going to be thick, but I guess we should just build it and see what happens. I've actually got Paz standing over to the right-hand side. Anyway, let's stand this little guy down there. Oh, and if you couldn't see, the reason they are standing up so well over on this side is because I got a little base plate underneath them. Hopefully you can see the desk pretty well. Not the best of desk angles, but Oh, we got a new person in the chat. Hello there, Subway Dude 101. It's a pretty cool name, Subway Dude. And I flicked to the other page very briefly to have a little look ahead, and I said about the UCS lamp. If you don't know about the UCS lamp, boy, if you don't know about the UCS lamp, 2023 it must have been. April 2023, Mando finished. No, probably around May 2024. We got a set, Keller and Beck's Bark Speeder, come with a sidecar for Grogu. I built it 2023 already, so check out that video. It's more scaled than the Lego set. 145 scale. Legos is about 130 to be a very rough 130 scale, but it come with what the Lego Star Wars community, it can be really, really fun sometimes. Called and forever gave the title of the UCS lamp. It was a Bark Speeder and a lamp. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. And the exact same lamp build where you've got the bar with a stud at the bottom with a 1x1 translucent brick and then a 1x1 on top is present in this Mandalorian set. I don't know if we see any lights on the sides of the rocks. It's sort of tucked around, and this is a big wall in the scene. So this will sort of be up around the corner, like take your next right sort of thing. So I'll keep my eye out in the rewatch for that as well. And hopefully I'll be able to point out exactly where it is and where it shows up in the scene. But it's nice that they've reused a design from another set, because this is very different to Coruscant, which is where Jedi Temple is. It's technically a Jedi Temple lamppost, making it a somewhat Jedi Temple build. I know what they're doing here, but it's nice to have the same sort of lamp, and likewise with the different containers across the Mandalorian sets on Mandalore, they're going to be displayed next to each other, especially something like this in the Bark Speeder. They're smaller sets, they're not going to be on a massive shelf next to like the Ghost, AT-AT and TIE Fighters, or even the AT-AT Walker, which I am frightened is going to fall at some point during this stream and just, I'd say, crush me. It's very, very small, especially with its little legs, but it would definitely hurt if it hit me on the head. So I'm keeping my eye on that. But it's going to be on a smaller shelf with your smaller sets. And I think it's nice to see some sort of some canonicity. I don't really know the word I'm searching for here, but it's nice to see some similarities between the two builds, even if it is just a lamppost. 2x3s. And I hope to see that. I've been mentioning, not as much because some of these videos haven't come out yet, but I've been mentioning about the modularity and stuff like that about Lego Star Wars sets, because I've been building a few. I've been seeing Harry Potter Forbidden Forest sets, which are Umbara, which was season 4, episode 7, I think. I did read that comment, and it would be nice to see something like that in Star Wars. I am sort of yearning. If Steve yearns for the mines from a young age, I am yearning for a modular Star Wars set. And I don't just mean like a battle pack that kind of clips to the set but doesn't really have much purpose to the set. I want something that will give us... I was really excited for the Falcon that came out actually from The Force Awakens. That was like one hallway of the Falcon. I thought, you know what, instead of a UCS Falcon, they're going to give us different segments of the Falcon. And then they dropped to UCS Falcon, and there was no reason to a modular Falcon like the Hogwarts Castle, for instance. But I'm still holding out hope for something like that for Lego Star Wars, some sort of modular set or some kind of set that makes you want to pick up, not just because, you know, it's an Eater and an Arc and we all love Clone Wars, but something that, well, I've got, like with these Mandalorian sets, well, I'm buying the set, I might as well pick up the battle pack. Well, I want the battle pack, I might as well pick up the set eventually. Something like that makes you want to buy the second half. And Lego would probably just package it in the same box and up the price a little bit. You'd be getting a better deal from Lego. Lego actually isn't as expensive this year as I would have thought. That being said, it is, but it isn't. And it is, but it isn't. That is the perfect title for this segment of the video. It is, but it isn't. Lego's still expensive, and it was... I'm trying to keep ahead on the chat, actually. Subway Dude did mention at some point in the last hour or so they were going to get this set for the minifigures The minifigures are great. I'll quickly go over the Paz Vizsla before getting into the whole Lego being expensive or not, because the old 2021 Paz Vizsla versus the new one, the armor piece is the exact same. So I don't know if you can buy the minifigure without the armor piece on Bricklink, but if you do own the old one, the new one is the exact same. You could even use it to mock the old one. I think the big difference is the old one has brown gloves, the new one has black, though both of mine have black, which is why I've got the plate on the bottom. But there's two big differences and a minor alteration. The minor alteration is on the bottom right side, bottom left side of Paz's torso. There are 2 silver buttons on the old one. They've been turned black on the new one. Really, really nice. Makes them stand out less, and I'm assuming it's probably more accurate to the minifigure. The helmet, best Mandalorian helmet we have ever got in this Mandalorian style. Maybe the Fleet Commander has a similar helmet. I don't know why I'm looking. No, Fleet Commander does not have a similar helmet. Paz, as far as I'm aware, is the only Mandalorian to have those side parts of the helmet underneath where they've got the little holes to actually be printed in a nice silver color. But the hip piece is missing. I guess the crotch of the hip piece is missing any printing whatsoever. I'm pretty sure that isn't a 40. No, none of the box arts have any print in there. Moff Gideon does, but none of the other characters do. And Moff Gideon's crotch printing is the same as Paz's, I guess, maybe a different color. I don't know if they would print black on black. But the minifigure's really, really cool. And that's just Paz Vizsla. That's the minifigure that you might already own. Moff Gideon is superb. Really, really cool. And not only does Moff come with the helmet. Hello there again, Kid Wonder Stories. I assume you're back from lunch. If so, how was lunch? Hopefully you enjoyed it. But we're just talking about the minifigures again. Moff Gideon does come with the hairpiece, which is really nice. We saw it with Bo-Katan. We did see it with Bo-Katan in the Spider Tank, didn't we? Did she come with a helmet? She definitely come with hair. I'm assuming she came with a helmet, and we've seen it with Pedro Pascal, Din Djarin in a few of the other Mandalorian sets, like the UCS Razor Crest, which we might pick up one day. You never know. And we're seeing it a lot more frequently recently, which is nice to see. But Lego. Is Lego expensive? Is Lego expensive? That's the age-old question. Everyone's got some sort of is Lego expensive conundrum or video or idea or something like that at some point in their Lego career. And I think Lego is the least expensive. I'm speaking purely on Star Wars Lego right now before the UCS set comes out in May. And we'll get on to why in a minute. But I think Lego Star Wars is in a good space right now. I know everyone's used to saying it's overpriced, and everyone is saying it's overpriced still. No matter what Lego do about that, it's going to be overpriced because, you know, we want these sets cheap. We don't want to be paying £35 for this. If I could pick this up for £10.99, I couldn't pick this up because the shelves would be empty. But you see what I mean. If I could pick that up for free, you know, Lego Ambassador Network, I've applied twice, no reply. Both of those are still pending, so I'd love to hear back. But even then, I think if we could get cheaper Lego, we'd all say we'd go for it. We all want cheaper Lego, no matter how cheap it gets. But right now, Lego Star Wars, I think you can disagree. Please do disagree. That sets for a really interesting conversation. But I think it's in a really good space. And I don't necessarily think that because of any set in particular. It's more so general sets. You look at all the sets we've got that have come out in January. We've got a £40 Eater. We would all love it to be 20 quid. But this thing's actually quite bigger. Lego have listened to the criticism from the last sets about them being too expensive for what we get. And rather than making them cheaper, they've just given us more Lego. I will be happily taking in the more Lego. But the last two sets with Jedi Bob's Delta, a ton of accessories. They actually had quite a bit of Lego. And that also had a brand new Mon Calamarian head. Mon Calamari? I'm missing the Mon Calamari Clone Trooper. Oh dear. So I've recorded a video yesterday about my updated clone wall. So this might be the first time you're actually seeing it, getting a sneak peek. And it's meant to have every clone trooper, roughly every clone trooper from about 2020, with the exception exclusively of the brand new free pilots, which is the space here, and the Airborne clone, which I technically have somewhere around here. I have a Filoni clone custom clone trooper of the 212 Airborne, because that minifigure is way too expensive for me to just be hanging on a wall. That'll be in a safe somewhere if I ever own one. But unless Lego do decide to re-release them, I'm still holding out hope. But anyway, the clone wall, yes, I'm missing the Akbar clone trooper. Now, does the Akbar clone trooper count? We've got Boba, I guess we've got Purge troopers, our clone troopers during Imperial times. We've got the Bad Batch, Omega. But all of these are clones of Jango Fett. And the Mon Calamari trooper isn't a clone of Jango Fett. It is a clone, but it's not. But it is. I don't know. We'll have to debate that. Oh, wow. George picked up Jedi Bob Starfighter today for £10 with no figures. That is a stunning deal. Even with no figures, I spend so much of my time looking at people selling sets with no figures. A lot of the time because they, a lot of the time it's to do with space or something. They keep the figures, they're the expensive part, and just sell the set for really cheap. I think they are really, really good deals because, especially with something like Jedi Bobs, I'm not interested in the Jedi Bob minifigure. I think I put one together with like Gandalf's torso or something like that because it was a grey robed torso. I'm not too interested in Jedi Bob. I wasn't collecting Lego when the first Jedi Bob come out, so there's no significance to me. But that ship does look really cool, and it's got the accessories to match the 35. I don't think it was 40. I think it was £35, which would have put it at the same price as this set that we are building here. And that's a really good price. To get it for £10, that is a steal. If anyone wants to sell me the set for £10, definitely let me know. DM me on Instagram, as I found out you can do. And yeah, but £10 is crazy good. I mean, I picked this one up for 23, I think it was, or 22.50, something like that, on Argos. Pretty much as soon as I purchased it, it went up to £25. I think I purchased it like late at night, following movie part 2. Following morning, I checked the site just to make sure my order went through, and it was flagging up as £25. I had a little heart attack because I thought, could have sworn it was cheaper, but no, I checked the receipt. I got it for like £22.50 or something, so it was really, really close call. Likewise, the Onyx Cinder, which we will be building at some point in the near future. I only flash that up. Don't want to get everyone too excited for it, but that set I spent, if I got 30-something% off, it must have been about £80, I think I spent on that, and that was on Very over here in the UK. I don't know if Very is international. It wouldn't be very good if it's not. It wouldn't be very good if it's not. Oh, that was terrible. But if it is international, definitely check it out. I've heard a few good things about them, but at the same time, I haven't heard a lot, if that makes sense. Like I've seen people talk about the deals on Very, but I've not seen anyone purchase it, and I was almost tricked into paying like a monthly plan thing for it, so had to quickly get out of that. But I purchased it through Very, didn't have any issues with it. Delivery was pretty quick, so I guess Very's another way we can buy Lego. And if that means buying more Lego, I think they had a deal on not too long ago. Is this meant to do something? They had a deal on not too long ago for the ceremony set, and that was like 80 quid upon release pretty much, and that's like a £150 set. Almost bought that, but the unknowing, I think it was around the time that everyone was not receiving their orders from Game, and I just didn't feel like doing it. I had a few problems actually with Smith's delivery service. Smith's is amazing. Their delivery is very awkward because one of my orders went through twice, and I only noticed when I got billed twice for it. And then I was trying to contact them pretty much when the order goes through. There's nothing you can do about it. I had to return it. Nothing went wrong, but it was just a long process. And yeah, I like things being done instantly, especially when it comes to technology. So that was a bit long, but I guess there was nothing really to be done about it. It's just a basic online service, which you can't complain about because it's pretty cool. We have just hit, no, we haven't just hit 49 views, which is really, really cool. 14 likes. Let's get that up to at least 15 as we are building the turret. I don't know where the turret goes. The turret's got a 6x6 on the bottom, unless we've got a little, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it for myself. Let's build it, and we will. I'm sure we'll soon find out. But yeah, I got the Onyx Cinder for like a third off. Without minifigures, I check some of these Bricklink deals as well. Whenever a set literally comes out straight away when it's release day, so now I probably would have been checking. I haven't actually checked the sets this year, but I don't usually make a purchase on it. But for instance, the Fighter, the Eater, and the doing something for lunch was great. Kid Wonder Stories, what did you have for lunch? I am very intrigued now. I had dinner just before recording this. It is 8:17 here in the UK. A nice pasta. Oh, a nice pasta meal I had. I've made a mistake. Nice pasta, chicken, and then I had a Bakewell tart mince pie for dessert. It was very, very nice. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but if you wanted to try it, definitely give it a go because it was very, very different. It was like I mushed a mince pie and a Bakewell into one, which if you like either of those things, it'll be really, really nice. But with the yeah, on Bricklink, I usually look for without minifigures, France, Germany, well, that Poland usually as well. Usually have some really good deals, but then it's like £6 to £10 for delivery. I'm going to be waiting a while. By then, I might be able to see it for that reduced price because I mean these sets are going for discounts like half price or more, especially on these smaller sets. Like you say, the £35 Jedi Bob set for a tenner, really, really good deal. But then spending an extra £10 on top of that, slowly that works up to £20. Well, that might be a deal on Amazon. Yeah, I'm a bit more hesitant on it. But I hear over in America, and I don't know if they are a thing overseas. I should probably check if there's any here in the UK. Bricks and minifigures are a great place to pick up sets as well, as long as you're not looking for any sets like the Cloud City set or like the old one with the classic Boba Fett that everyone likes or anything like that. Their prices are a little absurd, but for any of the little sets, it's a good place to go. Sell some Lego, get some money back, get some vouchers back, even. And a lot of schemes like that where you can. I used to do it with my video games actually in game, funnily enough. I don't really buy Lego through game, but a lot of the. Hello there, Gogrex. No apologies are needed for being late. At least once this is done and you've lived out the live bit, you can go watch it all back, which is really, really handy about YouTube. I looked at streaming to Twitch actually, or trying to do some dual scheme, but cheap sets, yes, Bricklink without minifigures, highly recommend. I did look at actually streaming this to Twitch, and also I guess I could have done it to like TikTok or something like that. But I really like the community here on YouTube, and I feel like it's a bit unnecessary to split it across multiple platforms, especially if all of the videos are still here on YouTube. It sort of adds up. Making pancake dough for tomorrow. Oh, Pancake Day. Is that February? I think that's like a well here in the UK. I don't know if it's different abroad. Pancake Day. I think that's not April, is it? That's coming up. I really like a good pancake, but yeah, I was going to stream this elsewhere. I thought we'll stick that in there. Not really much point to doing it. Maybe that's something we can expand in to the future. I have done something wrong here. I don't know what I have done. I have way too many pieces. I have a slope. I have yeah. These are oh. I tell you what. I think I know where the 1x2s are from. They're from the door, aren't they? I've consciously didn't do that. I guess. Let me just double check before I put them on. Yeah, I did forget them from the door. But where are the 2x2s from? I don't even remember those. And like I say, nothing to do with the fact that I am streaming this. This is genuinely my process for building Lego. But Pancake sounds really, really nice. I was up quite late this morning, and I was just fancying everything. You know, late at night when you're scrolling through shorts or TikToks or whatever you use, shorts for me, and I was seeing these really nice burgers, these pizzas, and oh, my mouth was just watering and it wouldn't stop. And I don't think that helped. I was considering going downstairs, making myself a nice meal, but I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep after that, and that wouldn't be any good. I don't know where these pieces are from. Oh, I know where the 2x2s on the back of the door, because that is a very obvious hole there. What is... Oh! Oh, this play feature is sick. Did they tell me this? Yeah. Yeah, they told me before I hit it. I just skipped that page. And then they tell me to combine it. So, as you can see, this play feature drops the door down. That's morbid. Dropping it down and then you just lift the door back up and it auto sets. That's smart. That is really, really smart. I like that. Got right, still working on the hanger, so you can add the Gonk Battle Pack instructions on Rebrickable on your account. Mine does not let me put the instructions up. Definitely get in contact with the Rebrickable team. There's like a handful of them working there. Sometimes it can be a bit on and off, but what it might be with your account, I think sometimes you have to, you can contact them, and I don't know if they'll permit you or if they'll give you a list of things to do. But it's definitely worth getting in touch with the help team over there, because I think when you make your first instructions, you've got to have downloaded like 3 other instructions, something like that. I have a few free ones if you just want to hit, download or get or something on there. Definitely have a look, because there was a step you have to do beforehand. I don't remember what it is. But if not, yeah, I'll definitely publish them, and we probably even link back to your video as well. I have to see if they would allow for that, but definitely have a look, get in touch with them, and hopefully they'll be able to help. Anyway, we've got one more piece. Yeah, one more piece that shouldn't be a spare piece. It's this 1x2 cheese slope, and I'll be honest, I don't see a single cheese slope. It's come from this bag, so it's come from bag 3. Slims it down quite a bit to where this needs to be put. But I don't see where this piece could have come from at all. I think we've just got a spare piece. My fiance was building the Piranha Plant. No, bag 3. No spare pieces. We just got a random 1x2 slope. My fiance was building the Piranha Plant, which, let me try and get that. So my fiance built, I got her this for Christmas, the Piranha Plant, PE Piranha. Really cool play feature that the coins just drop out of the bottom, and then you can put them back through. Can you put them through either side? I think I've got that one stuck. Oh dear. But you can put the coins, I'm pretty sure you can put them through either side. I did not know that. So I guess you can flip PE the other way and display them however you like. But there's 2 Mario coins in there, which you can just put in, chuck them out the bottom. Really, really cool. But these pieces on the leaf, you get 2 of each of them, and then there's like an extra one on the top. So you got an extra spare piece of that. Oh dear, what have I done? There we go. She got a spare piece of that. I'm going to put this back where it's safe. When she opened the box, before any of the bags were opened, which is interesting to say the least. I don't think I've ever got a spare piece outside of a bag, but now we've got a 1x2 cheese slope before opening the bag. And I just want to double check before we move on to the Knuckles mech that there isn't anywhere that I've missed putting this, but I'm pretty sure there's not a 1x2 in bag 3. So we must have just got a spare piece. Yep. That's the end of the instructions. And there's no slope. There's no slope on the set either. I don't think it's anything they've missed putting the instructions for. How odd. Well, it's a fine addition to my collection. I wonder if we've popped it off the set at... Oh, we didn't grab it. No, there's... How many is there meant to be? 4? Let's have a little look. I am so confused by this. 4 of them. We've got 4 of them. I wonder if I knocked it out of that pot. We're going to keep this to the side just in case it is needed. But this is the set. The door drops down, trapping Paz Vizsla on the other side, which is a bit of a morbid play feature. But it is pretty cool. You can have a few other Mandalorians, I guess, peering through the gaps here. Let's see if we can fit one. This reminds me, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of my mock I did for Kenobi, where I had the stormtroopers peering through the door that Kenobi like forces shut, and then they get. I'm going to need to rewatch Kenobi as well. I don't really remember much of that. But this is the set. It looks pretty cool. The figures we've gone over. Oh, what a misplaced pads. The figures we've got over are really, really. I want to say decent. They're not. They're really, really cool. I really like the Moff Gideon minifigure and the Praetorians as well, which are exclusive to this set and the Advent calendar. Let's see if we can position all three of them on here. We'll have the one without the weapon just sort of standing off to the side, letting the others go first. Then we've got. I thought I just heard a crack on the legs. Nope, no cracking. It might have just been the Lego bricks getting used to it, but we can fit all of the Praetorians, even one standing by the rock works. The thing that I really like about these rock works is that the rocks kind of work. Can we squeeze this little guy in here? Okay. I don't think we can squeeze them in with this where it is. Well, we can, but just not without the weapon. So there we go. We can kind of squeeze the other Praetorian in, and because the rock work is slightly angled, it allows for a minifigure to be there. We also have a little screen on the inside, which is really cool as well. But other than that, it's a pretty decent set, nice on display, and I really like the two play features, one of which being the door that just slams shut, leaving Paz to his doom, and also the little turret, which is pretty nifty. I'm going to be unloading it of studs because I am lethal with a stud shooter, and we don't want any accidents here live on stream because we don't want any accidents or injuries. But we can also get some of the grenades underneath, I'm sure, in there, and a few other figures we will be building. Let me have a little look. Speaking of Gonk Rex, whilst I am here, I do still have that Gonk Mobile. Gonk Rex has built this little Gonk Mobile, which is really, really cool. There is a video up on the channel, which you can find on the channel. Search for Gonk, you see a few of them. And I'm still really amazed at how sleek this Gonk Mobile is. So we'll bring that out. We will be doing a vehicle stream some point in the future. We got the pirate snub, we got all the sets out. This desk is going to get very, very messy very, very quickly, but we're going to be doing a vehicle stream sometime in the future. I've got a few different vehicles that I've stacked up in my backlog, which is just at the top here. You see these white squares, they're all names of vehicles. We've got Ghost Rider's Dodge Charger, we've got a race car that I do want to modify, which is why I'm building a city race car. We also have a few other sets as well for if we have a bit of time on stream, probably not this stream, because we've spent about an hour and a half on the first set. But whenever we have time, we will get that built. And in between building the Mandalorian sets, we will be rebuilding the battle pack at some point towards the end of this stream. Let's just pull that back a little bit. First up, we're going to be building Knuckles Mech. And I haven't seen the new Sonic movie, actually. I don't remember the last time I went to the cinema, but this has a load of really good pieces, and I'm really excited to build this. This is what my fiance got me for Christmas. I got her the Piranha Plant, and she got me Sonic the Hedgehog. There are a few other gifts in there, but you know, the main ones are the big Lego set that you get at Christmas. So let's open this. I called it at the height of this stream, and I'm starting to regret it by the way those thumb pop tabs sounded, because that sounded like plastic bags, but I called it that these would be paper bags, and I don't think they are paper bags, but you know what, I was really hoping they'd be paper bags. They're not, they are plastic bags. So I guess they're not even small plastic bags. I thought these were nice. Well, I guess no, they're not really small at all compared to the box. So I was wrong, they are plastic bags, and this is the same plastic that Lego use for their plants. Funnily enough, I did a little dive into it. It's interesting because their plants are now using a like eco-friendly bio, I think it's PE plastic that they use for this, but theirs comes from bamboo, whereas this is all like fossil fuels and that sort of stuff, which is really interesting. Why they've made the switch from this plastic to paper, given that they could just make this plastic out of the same bamboo material. I'm sure they can't get it clear, but the paper bags are white anyway, and they're still printing. They're printing more on the paper bags. Paper bags still, well, I guess paper is probably recyclable in more areas than soft plastic. But either way, let's not start with 2. Let's start, and I will be scanning the QR codes on this for 20 points. Perhaps in the future, actually, I could put up like an image of the QR code, and you know, whoever's first can scan it for an extra 20 points, because those 20 points do go a long way. I can't put it to the side yet. I need them. I need the instructions to build it. Again, advertisement for the builder. We've got sustainable packaging about Lego paper bags coming in every set, but they've put that in an instruction manual that comes with plastic bags. Again, if this was from Lego, they would actually, if this was from Lego, they would have used paper bags because, you know, newer sets and all that. And this has the 2017 copyright, but it also has the paper bags in the instructions. So shouldn't that match up? They have the paper bags in the instructions for paper bag sets, because we've got the new instructions, but we don't have the new paper bags. Maybe not all Lego factories are able to make the plastic bags, because I know most retailers, I think even like the Pick a Brick one, come from different factories across Europe, whereas supposedly the paper bags come from like Denmark and go straight to Lego stores, something like that. But it is interesting to see. Anyway, let's get building. Bag 1 is Rouge, I believe her name is. It's been a while since I've played a Lego game, but Rouge is, where does Rouge show up? What Sonic games? Because I remember them, but I don't know, and I haven't played that many Sonic games besides Sonic Generations, The Dark Brotherhood, something, Sonic Chronicles, The Dark Brotherhood. I haven't really played many games. We've got a new cockpit piece or a window element. We've also got this mini dolls. Do I have any mini dolls to hand? I don't think I do, but this piece, does this piece go? Yeah, this piece does go together. I do have one mini doll to hand. This piece is the same element that is used in the little, I think we've just got an aerial set, which technically in the UK you could pick up at like Christmas. I think November, December time you could see it in stores, but it officially released January 1st. But for mini dolls, they have a different connection in the legs compared to, you know, your typical minifigure, and that connection is on the tip of this. So as you can see, our mini doll, I forget the name of this character, but this was from last year's Polybag when friends started pushing a different line of minifigures. They had name stories, very difficult to keep along with, but if you are interested, it's really, really good. The characters, the stories behind these characters. Anyway, this is connectable to the bottom of friends minifigures, and they use this as like dress pieces, and then you can have it displayed on some sort of scene, and then if you want to like carry and go, you can put the torso and hair of the mini doll inside and like capture them inside the dress piece. It looks really, really cool, and they are like trans blues and all of that. So I'm intrigued to see what will go in the middle of this crystal, but for now we can put that on the bed, deal with it later. We'll move this ship to the bed. Let's clear a little bit of room here on the desk. If you're wondering, if you've just joined and wondering what the Lego Fund is, all donations I get on the stream, even if it is £1, £2, what's the cheapest? So the cheapest you can donate, I think, is £2. I don't want to donate myself, but I think it's £2. Anyone that donates £2 or anything more, I don't know if there is a maximum, there should probably be a maximum, will not only contribute to today's goal of 10 super chats. I don't know if I can make that any lower. I would just like to go for 1 really this year. That would make my stream. But anyone who does donate any sort of money, it will go into a pot for all of us to decide on a set to build in future live streams. The set has to be built here on the channel. The money can't be used for stuff like the city or for Minecraft or any Bricklink orders. Exclusively for Lego sets, full Lego sets, not mocks, no twisting any rules or that, and it will be built guaranteed live here on the channel. But we've got our Rouge minifigure now. We are building the stand, which has appeared, I can guarantee, in a few late 2000s Lego sets. Might be something to do with the mock that I've got coming out in a few days, wink nudge, but it's a solid piece to, it's a solid formation to hold really any sort of ships. If you're looking at displaying some of, maybe not like the Falcon, the Ghost, the AT-AT for instance, or the AT-TE or the gunship, none of that size model. But if you are looking at displaying an A-Wing, a Snub Fighter even, Definitely 4 of these little handlebar elements, and then add like a brick, maybe two by two bricks or something to the bottom of your ship. And as long as the base plate or plate you have secured it to is big enough or can support its own, and the bricks are in the center of the ship, it makes a really, really cool display. And then you just pick it up. If you've only got one brick or maybe even two by two plates attached to the bottom of the ship, you can just pick it up, swish it around like you would, not really tell the difference, and then you can just set it back down without having to build strong landing gear or any specific feet for it that can hold up the weight of the ship, because it's not always that easy. We got some gems, yes. So it looks like the set wants us to put 3 gems in, but it gives us a bonus. So we're going to be putting 4 gems in here, make it an extra good deal. I don't know why they've got us to put this upside. Oh, wow. So the actual orientation for this piece is upside, well, what I would consider upside down compared to the orientation of the piece, which kind of makes sense. But you do have a stud connector on the top, and that just goes straight in to that. I haven't yet got that chat on my mobile device. Let me refresh this page. But whilst I am waiting for it, Gongreg says, I only need to know every Republic gunship width, wide width, is that? I can't really see it from here. That's right at the point where the glare is. So forgive me, I'll answer it when it comes through. But speaking of gunships, it's the anniversary this year of, I've been saying it so much for next year. This year is the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, The Force, not The Force Awakens, is it? No, 10 years since The Force Awakens. No, the sequels can't be that long ago. It is, isn't it? 10 years since The Force Awakens, that's crazy. But it's the anniversary of all those, and I would like to see more, I guess, gunships don't, I was thinking Attack of the Clones, that was a few years ago. But I would like to see another gunship. Anyway, they could whack one in Revenge of the Sith. They could even give us another Clone Wars one that's white, not another red one. We've had a red one. Now we can have a white one. Or just give us an Attack of the Clones set. I am not turning down an Attack of the Clones set ever. But I haven't really seen too much of the leaks. I've done a little short on Star Wars leaks, which I think is actually due to come out tomorrow. And I've seen there is a turbo tank that's meant to come out later this year. And my first instinct, turbo tank later this year, I guess that's the UCS set, you know, 300, 400 pounds for it. They go big, but it turns out it's going to be rumored to be $50, £50, around the 50 quid mark, which sounds awesome. It's meant to be a 7+ set, not quite 4+, but also means that it's not quite like a 16+, 18+, even a 12+ model, which tends to be a little more detailed. But I'm still interested to see what sort of turbo tank this is. Oh, there you go. The chat's come through now. What sort of turbo tank this is looking to be, because we've got the ARC 170. The ARC 170 looks like one of the best X-Wing ARC 170 shape size builds we have got from Lego to date. And they've done a few X-Wings recently that have come really close to the mark. So I'm really excited to be picking that up. I am. The reason we're not building that on stream now is because I'm saving that for later this year so that, you know, I can get the May 4th gift with purchase, honestly, or the May gift with purchase. Usually it comes out by the 1st. I'm intrigued to see what it is. If I get an inclination that the May gift with purchase isn't going to be something that I am interested in, we may be building it sooner than I expect, probably around March time, if I can get it on a really nice deal, which is when they started coming out last year. Oh, that's a really nice color. It's like a dark pink, which is really, really nice. But we are definitely going to be building a load of sets. I did a few live streams for anyone that doesn't know last year. I'm sure you've probably seen it, or seen something about it. And the big thing that was asked for is a load more sets to be built live on the channel. So they're not all going to be built. Well, they could all be built, to be fair. If I do a set or a few sets a week, I think we probably could get most of them built. But I can't promise that and then end up building a few elsewhere. I'm going to build most of them here live, streamed on the channel. 2 of them. I think they should be the other way, but that's what Lego says. And most of them are going to be built live on the channel here, and most of the mocks as well. I aim to build, maybe not most of the mocks, some of the mocks, often mocks built here on the channel. I do tend to build quite a few mocks. Some of the bigger mocks will be built here on the channel, because I think some of the input I've got from comments last year on some of my mocks would have been really, really handy to have known when I was putting the ship together and as I was building it. So building it live and having that viewer interaction and tips as I build is really, really helpful. I need to, oh, the measurements of the gunship. Every Republic gunship. I think, oh, it's not Bricklink. There's a site that I have a little look on BrickOwl. I don't know if it was BrickOwl. I feel like I might have made a video on this when I was going over the whole Bricklink versus BrickOwl before I sort of accepted that both of them exist. One of them definitely, Lego Fund. Yes, question about the Lego Fund. One of them definitely has the sites on it. Definitely check out BrickOwl for the measurements. Although most retailers actually specify, Lego specifies the box size, which, you know, is fair for delivery and stuff. Oh, Smiths. I don't think it's the other retailer I've got in mind. I think Smiths might give the measurements of the playset, which is really, really interesting, because I think they said like 20 centimeters by 20 by 30 for the battle pack. The battle pack could be crammed into this box here, to be fair. It's not really that big. The one at the height of last year, that's another talk about leaks, one of the Clone versus Droid battle packs. This is really, really cool. But yeah, I think BrickOwl might have the space of the set, and then you can also find out the box. The Lego Fund in the bottom corner of your screen is for donations, any donations on the stream. I think you can donate as little as £2. I thought you could go a little lower than that at £1. I'm not really sure, but anyone that donates goes there, the money goes straight into the Lego Fund. It's in pounds because that, I believe, is how I'll receive it. And all of that money is saved away for future sets to build live here on the channel. So hopefully when this takes off, you know, later this year or something, if people want to share a bit, maybe they aren't interested in becoming a member but would like to see a certain set build, £2 donation, list the set. That will then go onto a list. I can definitely keep a list of sets if people want to donate and request different sets. And then once that adds up to enough to buy the set, or once I can pick it up on a deal or something like that, the chat is definitely ahead of my mobile device here. So is the live stream 2 hours long? Well, we have been going for, oh yeah, 2 hours. Well, 1 minute off. 1 hour and 59 minutes. I have been streaming 1 hour, 59 minutes and 18 seconds. So we are closing up on the 2 hour stream. I aim to finish this build at least. So we'll definitely be going about another hour, maybe another half an hour, depending on how quick I can get this built. Already done that. And then, oh, look at that. We can get the crystal just on the underneath. I think last year I sort of capped my streams at 2 hours long. Can we get Gideon's helmet underneath? But I'm not really as fast. I think if we start going too long, it hits the 3 hour mark. That's when I'm already slurring my words. Clearly I'm tired now, but that's when I'll get too tired and cut it off around that 10 o'clock, just before 10 o'clock, and we can continue this another day. But I think for these sets, it will be fine. The real challenge is going to be building the Onyx Cinder live on the channel. That's going to be a really, really hard one to cram into 3 hours and talk about Skeleton Crew. But we've seen a few other Lego leaks. Something reminded me of a set that I saw that has been rumoured, and I can't think of it. So whilst I am thinking over it, I want to talk about the Star Wars logo. We've seen the Marvel logo now. Lego have officially released it. It comes with 5 of the Avengers. And I would love to know, actually, if you could pick 5 Star Wars minifigures. Arguably, it's rumoured not to come with minifigures, but if you could pick 5 Star Wars minifigures to come with a Star Wars logo, what 5 would you choose to go in it? And whilst I think, I will take a sip of drink and then we'll talk more about that. Because it's interesting to see how Lego would take this. I think they're not going to put minifigures in there. I agree with that. like one rumor that we've got about it. I don't think we've heard anything on it since. I don't think anyone else is coming up with information about it. But I think the reason there wouldn't be minifigures is even if they include someone like George Lucas, there's going to be the argument George Lucas isn't at Star Wars. It's not only going to cost money for them to go with George, they're also putting George's face on something that he's no longer involved with. It would be nice, like a Stan Lee minifigure. But a load of people are making custom Stan Lees. A load of people have custom George Lucases. I have a custom George Lucas on my minifigure display. So I think it would be really hard for Lego to do something like that and include. Most people will throw out a few names. You've got Lucas, you've got Kennedy, you've got Filoni, you've got Favreau. You've also got. You could throw in people like John Williams for the soundtrack, Kevin Kiner for Clone Wars soundtrack. But where do you stop? Because we're already at 5 minifigures. It's really hard to go on with that. But if I had to pick 5 minifigures, it'd have to be Anakin, Luke, Ahsoka, Rey. Would I pick Rey to? Would I pick Rey for the sequels, or would I pick like Ben Solo? Are we going like a light side, dark side here? Because we got Luke, Ahsoka, Anakin. Maybe we could have like a darker, like maybe Sith. No, I wouldn't want Sith Eyes Anakin in a set like that probably. And then do we include Kenobi as well? Big figure. Yoda. Okay, Yoda would definitely be in. Lego like their Yoda. So we'd have Yoda. We'd have Luke. We would have Ahsoka. Maybe they don't do sequel characters. Maybe sequels are left out. Luke, Vader, Yoda, Ahsoka. Mando's too new, isn't he? I don't think Mando could go in. Who else? Who would be? So George said Phase 1 Rex. Oh, Rex is a good shout. Luke, Anakin, Vader, and the Emperor. The Emperor, yeah, that's a good point. So I think I would go with Luke. If you've got to include Anakin and Vader, don't you? The two sides. Luke, Anakin, Vader, Yoda, and the Emperor. Yeah, I think Ahsoka being in the other ship, but then again, Anakin in the other ship as well. It's a good chance for them to reuse a minifigure. But someone like Rex that had a microfighter, I guess he's also in another set though. It's really interesting to see who Luke would go with. I think that's a solid 5. Rex, Luke, Anakin, Vader, Emperor. You've nailed home what Star Wars is. I would like to see anyone other than Yoda. Is Yoda still in a set? Do we still have that Yoda fighter that Lego released like 3 years ago now? Is that still on shelves? I'm not entirely sure. So maybe there is a Yoda on shelves as well. So it wouldn't be that. Luke, Vader, Emperor, Ahsoka. I'm sticking with Ahsoka. And maybe we can get like a sneak peek of Rey. It's on shelves in Estonia. So yeah, so we'll scrap Yoda from the list. No offense to Yoda. Respectfully, Yoda is not making the cut. And then we will have. We could have like a sneak peek character, like someone like Rey, maybe a new look for the Mando, someone like that from a new thing coming up. I think that's a good thing to put in that sort of set, but they could always just cap it at 4 and have different. You could have one minifigure that rises out, one that swings out, one that folds out, and the other that slides out the side. Something like that. 4 minifigures, that would look pretty good. But if they don't do that, because the Marvel block was a block, it seemed like it was a block for the minifigures. I don't know design process which one came first, but it did seem like the Marvel block was designed so that the minifigures could pop out, and then they made sure the Marvel logo looked good on top of that. Just because of the sizings of it, it doesn't seem like a perfect cuboid shape, and it does seem to be quite tight around that skeleton. Obviously, they want to keep the price down and parts low, but I wonder if it would just be a Star Wars stand, something like the members board, for instance, something that is just Finn, that just sits there. He's just Finn, as in Star Wars character Finn. But it would be interesting to see what they. I got way too much humor from that. I found that way too funny. But if we do get something, this loops back. I don't think I ever talked about why I didn't think Lego wasn't expensive. I just said Lego isn't expensive. That's my take and left it there. So to expand on that point, the reason I was saying Lego isn't too expensive is because a lot of the sets we get in, like the home one, like the Acclimator, like the Grogu in the pram, are quite big, more display sets than play sets. And then we've also got the play sets to go with them. And they're all reasonably priced. I don't think any one of them you could argue is like Captain America level. It should not cost 40 odd quid. I think a lot of them, I think all of them, you could argue for the home one sets, but it sort of fits with the other ships in that collection. Definitely not for me. I wouldn't be picking any of them up. But looking at the other ships like the Helicarrier, they're definitely worth it a lot more than that. So maybe Marvel's got a bigger problem than Star Wars, and it's just making Star Wars look good. But I think the price is being able to pick up an Arc 170 and a Eater Starfighter for £100. I guessed that they would be £90, but I also thought the Eater would be the same price as Anakin's, the same size as Anakin's Eater. I didn't think it would be the same price as Anakin's Eater, but I did think it would be the same size. And Ahsoka's is a little bigger than Anakin's. So don't tell Anakin, but Ahsoka's ship is slightly bigger. What? Oh dear, what have I done? This is not the day for me, but I forgot some of the plates. But I think £100 a pretty good deal for that, let alone discounts, sales. They might release a bundle. Ooh, what would they bundle with it? We need a battle pack. We need a battle pack released over the summer that they can then release the Arc, Eater, and Battle Pack in like £100 set. That would definitely be some sort of Amazon exclusive, and that'd be nice to pick up because of the little discount, the little savings. I'm sure Lego would definitely trump Amazon. They've been doing it the last 2 years, better discounts than on pretty much anywhere if you can find what you want at the right time, and I guess have the patience to wait around with it. It's so hard waiting for it. Mos Eisley Cantina is on shelves. Oh yeah, I think that retired actually like a few days ago. What is it? The 4th of January. I think that retired 4 days ago on Lego.com. I remember seeing a lot of talk about that. I have it somewhere. If you Mos Eisley Cantina in the city uses a few of the parts. I think the Minecraft display uses a few of the parts. Hogwarts might have been patched up with a few of the parts. There's a few of the parts behind me. It is everywhere. But it was a really cool set to build when it came out. And I'm still convinced, well, I double checked, I think, for one of the videos I did with it, that I picked it up pretty much release date without the gift with purchase through John Lewis, it might have been. Through John Lewis, which was opposite where I was living at the time. And since I've moved very, very far away, so you are unable to track me, but it was 200. The set was £320. I thought I got it for £220. I think I got it for like £270, something like that. Pretty much on release. They must have just had a lot of stock and wanted to get rid of a few of them straight away. And I was lucky enough to pick it up. But that is a really, really good set for it being retired. Oh, I guess €500. So it was a £320 set. So it must have been about €400 retail, unless I'm completely forgetting it and it was like 420 quid, something like that. But I see a lot on Amazon as well. If you are looking at retired sets, some of the ships, they went up last year actually. A lot of the Inquisitor Scythe, the Justifier were like £120, which the Inquisitor Scythe, no, the Justifier, I think, Cad Bane ship retailed for like 150 quid. It was 120 on Amazon, and now both of them went up around Christmas to £150. They could have sold out by then, and they've probably gone up a little bit more. But I didn't realize how good Amazon was for buying these retired sets. And there are definitely some places, if you know where to look, you can pick them up for quite decent money, especially cheaper than sites like Bricklink, which I'm sure with all the minifigures that Mos Eisley, I think I went over this in a short, most of the minifigures from Mos Eisley are worth like 20, 30 quid already. And I've got a display on my shelf which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 exclusive minifigures, and that's not including like Luke, Kenobi, any of that. None of them I'm sure are exclusive, but they're still really, really cool minifigures. So already 8 times, we'll say like 25. That's £200 just for those minifigures that sit to the side. And then you've also got the band as well, which they're probably only worth like 10 odd quid or something. But you're probably looking at about £300 just in the minifigures, which is this isn't advice. Don't buy a set for the minifigures. But if you were to buy a set for the minifigures, make sure it's a big set with a lot of minifigures. We've also got images of Ninjago sets as well. Fit in whilst I'm building a Knuckles mech to talk about the Ninjago mechs. They're like dragon mechs. And they released, I think their images went out on some European site. And that's how we're usually able to find a lot of the Star Wars sets, which hopefully we get some sort of idea what other sets are out in May. Because one of my New Year's resolutions was to, every other month, you've got to stay with me here, every other month, not spend money on Lego. So January, I bought this Mandalorian set here, and I bought the Onyx Cinder to build later this month. So February, I won't spend money on Lego. And I realized because of this, I'm probably going to spend money in March, not spend money in April, probably going to spend money in May, which would mean if I want the May gift with purchase, I've got to snooze on the June releases to July. And I am intent on picking this up and following this sort of pattern, because otherwise I spend way too much money on Lego. And sometimes waiting for discounts and sales is a good thing. Obviously, if I have a sale of a century, then I'm probably going to pick it up. I was meant to be building 2 of these, and I've only gone through and built 1. So I think I could probably build it based on the image there. But that is one of my New Year's resolutions. Few other things to get done on the channel here, and especially with not specifically Lego, but just the general Lego space. It is kind of my focus. It has become a job, so it is something that I do want to push further and further. There are a few new ideas you might have already seen on the channel, new camera angles, new styles of video even. And I am just testing out January, really. We're going to see what works, and then as we approach sort of March, April time, really go in on those Star Wars mocks. And then as the year goes out, again, I really enjoyed the fact that as we got further and further away from May, the Lego sets that I was building and the Lego things that we were doing here on the channel got less and less Star Warsy. And I don't necessarily like the fact they were less Star Warsy, but I like the fact I was doing other things, like building a Sonic mech on the channel. Well, 2-3 years ago when I was a Star Wars channel, this just never would have happened. But there are so many good Lego sets elsewhere. Almost did it. I missed a few pieces on the bottom. I don't. Gonk Rex has the 2012 Ninjago suits. Actually, I need to go over. I was going to do a video on all my Ninjago minifigures. I think someone asked for it, and then I got more Ninjago figures, and then I misplaced some Ninjago figures and never got it done. I have a load of different. I don't think I have a full group of any of them. Even the original 4 ninjas. I don't think I ever found my Cole minifigure, so I don't think I have a complete collection of any of them. I would like to get the original Black Ninja as well from the CMF, which sort of kicked off into Ninjago. I mean, did it really? Maybe not. But headcanon for me is that it kicked off Ninjago. Ooh, that was a crisp. Let's see if I can. At least it didn't peak the mic. That was a nice noise. I'm assuming these are the knees of Knuckles, but the Ninjago suits are really, really cool. Oh, Gonk Rex said that they think they should get the old Jedi Bob, and yes, that's what I was looking at. I regret not many things when it comes to Lego. One is picking up the Grievous ship, because I remember walking into the store, seeing it on clearance. Not great, but clearance, 33% off. It was down 50 quid from 75, and it was tempting. That was a reasonable retail price. That should have been the RRP for the set, and I didn't pick it up. And now I'm here years later. I had the Grievous, I have the Kenobi, but that 212th Airborne is really, really, it's annoying. It is annoying. The only 220 Cell clone I don't have, but I was going to buy the Jedi Bob, the older version. There was a damaged one with a worn torso. I kid you not. It looked exactly like the new one. The places it was worn on the torso, the head was just sort of bog standard. Probably a few like bite marks on the back, not great condition. but the torso looked like the brand new one. And I don't know if someone was trying to pass off one of the new ones as an old one, but it was really, really cheap compared to what the new one was going for. I think it was like £10, £8 odd in the UK. I slept on it. It was up for like 3-4 days, and then someone picked it up, bought it, probably tried to resell it for a bit more, because some of those figures, even damaged and used, go for quite a bit of money. But definitely, if you can get the old one for a decent price, I wouldn't spend too much on it. But if you can get a good quality one for a good price as well, maybe that's worth spending a bit more. But I was going to get one of the like worn torsos for the older figure. It would have worked perfectly. I didn't pick it up. I regret it now. But hopefully something comes around and I can pick up the minifigure. Who knows? Maybe it will be in like a magazine some point this year with all the other minifigures we are getting. Because we got Qui-Gon coming out soon in the Lego Star Wars magazine, if not already. And I'm tempted to pick it up. But the only thing I was going to pick up on... Actually, was it Wednesday gone or is it Wednesday coming up? The Dreams magazine comes out with the blue guy. I don't remember any of the names. I'm rubbish with names. But the blue guy that looks like Nightcrawler, and I thought of a really fun video about Nightcrawler being that character. It looks really, really close. But then I went to get the magazine, and it was $7.95. First off, I don't know if that's the case for all the stores. I was looking online. They tend to add a little bit extra online. So it was probably like a $6.99 magazine that they upped to $7.95. Trying to get a bit more money because they probably have to buy them in like retail stores themselves. That's fair enough. And for $7.99 you can almost get, for $7.95 you can almost get a cheap set, like a $8.99 set, and there are 2 of In Dreams, which look really, really cool this year. But it is, the magazines are really expensive. You're not just paying for the minifigure, you're paying for, I guess, the actual magazine. The minifigure's meant to be a bonus, but magazines are expensive for what they are, just a bit of paper. Have the torso, you have the torso and the legs, and then you'll have, also I guess you've got the, I think the hood is an old element, isn't it? I don't think they use the newer designed hood. The face is, the old Jedi Bob face came on a few different characters. It might have even been you, George, that mentioned that in an old comment that I saw about the head being quite a fairly common piece. And the legs, I think the legs are plain, but they might be in the old brown, which might be a bit hard to get your hands on. But yeah, if you can find a torso, especially someone selling it, and also it's easier to speak from my point of view because I have all the income from things like the channel, brand deals and all that. But if you are able to save up and afford some bulk lots of Lego, perhaps that could be quite a cool way to find some hidden gems. And it's not always going to work out. It is going to be a case of you win some, you lose some. But I have seen so many stories now of people buying a bulk lot of Lego. Hello there, excited kangaroo. Is that a picture of a kangaroo? Oh, nice. And I've seen so many people buying bulk lots of Lego and finding these minifigures. And it's really nice when it happens, but it doesn't happen a lot, which is, yeah, it's bittersweet. You'd want it to happen, but the chances are sort of stacked against you unless you can find different things. There's a few different techniques for trying to hunt out specific figures, like looking for exclusive parts from a set. But even then, they could have sold the minifigures, especially if they're worth something like Jedi Bob, sold the minifigures separately, and then you've got a load of Lego that is actually really, really hard to try and part with, not emotionally or anything, but actually to sell on Bricklink. You'll notice that I have emptied my Bricklink store now. I might open it in the future for some mock minifigures and to sell like bundles of pieces to build my mocks that you can purchase on Rebrickable. But for the time being, I have kind of closed the Bricklink store, and it's easier to not have to focus about it. I was, every single time I got on the computer, checking the Bricklink store, making sure I didn't have any orders. I think after pulling out most of the sets and the Rebel minifigures, there were like 3 Sabine minifigures. Let me just double check to see if there was anything else, because I've got this cup here. This was everything that was left. So there was a few Rebels that I still haven't pulled out, and I think there's like 3 Sabine minifigures. If I ever do like a Whatnot stream or something like that, I'll probably end up giving these away on it. So you never know. Stay tuned, subscribe. You might get a free figure and whatnot in like a year or two. I don't think I'll be doing it anytime soon, but I have closed that for now. It's very hard to not get rid of Lego because I'm sure, you know, if you want to give it away, people will take it, but to actually sell it on and to set up the right prices, and then for people, it's not a case of finding just the right prices, but it's also finding the people that want to spend that to buy the bricks that you have, and then making sure whenever I'm on Bricklink, I always have a few different baskets and items in my wish list, but it's snowing. It's also finding the people. Let me go have a look actually. It's also finding the people to then pick up the Lego and then spending the delivery as well to get the Lego shipped all the way over to them. I think it is snowing a little bit actually. That's really cool. And then dealing with all that, and especially if you haven't shipped anything before, people won't trust you as much as someone who's, you know, shipping things out as their job full time, have been for so many years. So it's awkward to start up a business, but I managed to do well here on YouTube, and thank you to everyone that's been watching. I know we've only been doing Lego for, we said this earlier on in the stream and I can't remember, but we're now live streaming. We are taking this to whole new levels, and hopefully there is more to come this year, which I'm sure there is definitely a lot more we've got to do here on the channel, not just really Lego wise, but everything else in between. Just for a reminder for anyone that might be new and might not have heard about what we've got planned for the future, really big things, by the way. We've got a UCS build stream at 10k subs. We've got 5k subs. We still need to do something. It's snowing where George is as well. It's been snowing a lot here in the UK, but it's not been snowing where we are. So to get like a glimpse of snow, even if it is just that little glimpse that I got there, and then by the time I wrap this up, the snow just disappears and, you know, just runs away as it does. It's really nice to get a little bit of snow. But with 5k subs, definitely throw some things out in the chat. There's 7 people in the stream right now. Let me know what you think we should do at 5k subs, because we've built some pretty big sized marks. We've done some, you know, larger sets, £150 sets already. UCS is the next one at 10k, but 5k definitely needs something. We're approaching pretty quick. I mean, in the last like week or so, we've nearly got 100 subscribers. So shout out to all of you that have subscribed. I like it in studio where you can hop in and actually see everyone that has subscribed. Shout out to all you guys. And also, let me know what you think. Even if you're watching this on demand, let me know what you think we should do for 5k subscribers. I think I've messed up here. I think the toe is meant to be a little bit pointier than it actually is. Let's just fix that as we go. And no one will notice. One last pop for this segment. And it looks like the arms are supported by the smaller ball joints, which is something I haven't thought about for these mechs. Is that the case with Ninjago? A minifigure scale 145 TIE Fighter and X-Wing build. I genuinely kid you not. That sounded so weird to say aloud. I don't think I've ever said that before. But I don't think I've measured the X-Wing. I've built, I can't say I've built a 145 scale TIE Fighter, because that's just a 2012 set. Perhaps we can turn the latest TIE Fighter into 145, which is like double the size, and then build an X-Wing. That is a really good idea. And if no one's got any other points, I might have to go with that. That is a really smart idea. Anyway, with the 145, because 10k subs, we got the UCS set. 100k subs, we're going to be building a minifigure scale Star Destroyer, and I want to go for the Guinness World Records, which is like 8 meters, which is set by Lego's X-Wing in 2013. No problem. And it hasn't been beaten since. There's been 6 meter mocks, and that's really the biggest that there've been. I think Two Bricks here on the platform is building a massive Venator, and that's meant to be like 3 meters long or something like that, which is double the size of the UCS model. But I definitely want to push for the world record. If we haven't, depending where we are with the channel when we hit 100k, if it's like in a year's time, I'll probably shrink the minifigure scale to, well, it'll still be minifigure scale, but it won't be quite 145. We'll use some smaller nano figures or something like that. But I definitely would like to, at some point, if we don't at 100k, by 1 million, I would love to build a 145 Star Destroyer. The smallest Star Destroyer is the, I don't think it's the Virgil class. I think it's something that begins with G, and I think 145 would make it about 9 meters tall. So we're not just doing like 8.1 meters. We're beating Lego by an entire meter, which is like 12-13% of the ship that is currently holding the world record. But 5k, 145 TIE Fighter and X-Wing definitely got to be the combo. You can't have one without the other. I say this every time we get a TIE and X-Wing, and we finally got a mashup of the two that came in the same set. Usually they release them side by side. Ooh, hello there. What do we have here? Is this not a piece that already exists? All right. We will be trying to, this piece doesn't exist. No, there's no way we can build this piece. This must be the shoulder pads. No spoilers. I'm gonna have to take the box off the set, but this is definitely buildable without this piece. Hello there, Mr. Chimp. Thank you very much. But you know what? We're gonna put it. How long have we got? It's 9:15. I think we're gonna build this in the next sort of 15, half an hour. We've got these pieces here. So no, these are not the pieces. These are the shorter pieces. But we've got these slope pieces. If you built the Knuckles mech, I don't know if you'll know what piece I'm talking about. It's this piece here. It looks like it's got one of those slopes on the top that we used in the Vader's mech, and then one of the 1x2 round pieces. I guess we don't have the angles, the little slopey bits on the side. We don't have the slopey angles. Maybe they could have, instead of inventing this piece, this is something I like to do with Lego sets, where I pull apart all the pieces and scrutinize every single detail in a Lego set, because what else can I do whilst building a Lego set? But in all seriousness, I think instead of giving us this piece, what they could have done is split the top into 3 other pieces and given us some snot brackets, like wedge brackets. So like the typical 1x4 with the 1x2 Lego plate on it, but with the sides angled. That would make some really, really cool vehicles. And I think that would be a really cool piece to have as well, just for mock building. And if you want to see other pieces, David Cohen, I love your content. Thank you so much. Also, I love the new 2025 Lego sets, so I have a few of them. The Acclamator. I don't know if you've built any of these yet. How is the Acclamator? Because it seems like it's going to be, I apologize for my squeaky chair. It seems like it's going to be, I don't own any of the midi scale ships. It seems like it's going to be like Delta sized. And I feel like for the detail, I'm just not sure if the price comes across. They interest me so much. I actually turned the 2012 Venator into a midi scale Venator, if you would like to check that video out. But maybe one day I'm just going to have to go on like eBay or something and buy all of these midi scale ships, because they're definitely keeping my eye over. The Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, are not defending the price, but I also don't think it's a terrible set at all. I agree with that. I spoke earlier about how Lego Star Wars is in an interesting spot. Marvel suddenly got really expensive. DC and Marvel are both pretty expensive, but they are the top superhero themes, so maybe that's more of a brand thing. But Star Wars, I'm quite happy with. The Acclamator and Home One don't seem to be expensive, around that £60 price mark. The Arc 170, again, I don't really know until I've got that set in hand. I will be waiting for the May 4th gift with purchase. But even the Ahsoka ship, it's the most expensive that size. I mean, it's more expensive than this Mando set that we've got. And out of the two, I feel like, because this is a scene and a diorama, you feel like you're getting more from this. Again, next week, we will be turning it into an actual diorama, combining it with the other set. But the Ahsoka ship it looks all right for the price. It's a bigger set. It's more expensive. But did it need to be bigger? Did it need to be more expensive? Or could we have got it shrunk down a little bit? I guess they didn't want any I don't know if Lego are listening to the vocal majority or if they're trying to, hide behind. I'm not accusing Lego of anything. I love Lego. I love Lego sets. I am building Lego here on the channel. That's how much I love it, and sharing the experience with all of you at home or wherever you are, not necessarily at home. But did it need to be bigger? Could we have had, a £30 Ahsoka's Eater? But I'm really excited to build it. The Ahsoka minifigure, the Anakin minifigure, actually, the Anakin minifigure is a contender for minifigure of the year. We'll see come summer if there is like a Plo Koon minifigure that might knock Anakin off the podium, but Anakin is definitely contender for minifigure of the year because that grey torso just works wonders for the minifigure. Looks so much better than black, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that set. But that sounds like a really good January haul. I didn't pick this up, this I got for Christmas, but I picked up the Mandalorian set because honestly, if I didn't pick this up now, I don't think I would have picked it up. It gets to a point whenever a set's retiring, usually you'd think, oh, I'll pick this up before it retires. That's usually when I think, oh, well, I haven't picked it up yet. Why should I pick it up? And then, a few months down the line, oh, why didn't I pick up this set that I saw for 50 quid with a 212 Airborne? I'm going to regret that. But I also picked up the Skeleton Crew Onyx Cinder, which we will be building in 2 weeks' time here, Saturday. You can call me on it. If we haven't built it by then, definitely let me know, and we will build it on stream 2 weeks' time. Next week, building the mock of the Mandalorian sets. But it's been really, really hard. I am having heavy withdrawals, not picking up any Lego Star Wars sets this year. I don't think we picked up any Lego Star. Did we pick up? No, we picked up the Battle Pack, I think, at the start of last year, and that was the only one we picked up. So we did pick up. This might be the first year in a while I haven't picked up any Lego Star Wars sets in January. I know it's all for a good purpose. Come May, we will have that gift with purchase sat on the desk. We'll be building that on stream as well. I definitely want to do a few May 4th. I might even double up. When does May 4th? If May 4th is around a weekend, I might even double up on streams that weekend. We'll do something special. Maybe have one building Lego, one playing some games or something like that. Or playing games whilst we do Lego, because that'd be quite interesting. But I think, yeah, it's been a good year so far for Lego Star Wars. I'm really liking it. Moderator and my fiance just put the gift with purchase. I'm sure you can all see the chat. I don't know why I'm reading these all out to you, but the gift with purchase is going to be another lamp. The UCS lamp. But rather than, if you missed the start of the stream, we got another lamp like the UCS lamp from Keller and Beck's Speeder in this. I'm going to include that in my diorama. I think I've got to at this point. And it's just going to be this giant brick built lamp that's maybe not even brick built. They might actually release it as a working lamp that you can plug in. If Lego release it, all right, you've got to screenshot this, clip this. I'm not quite sure. Just, send this to me in a few months when Lego do this. If Lego make an actual lamp of the UCS lamp, I will buy it and have it on this desk for, well, maybe not any of my May streams, but for some of my streams. And that will be the sole light in the video, and we will test out just how good it is. If Lego release a lamp, would you have to assemble it? Would it come in a box and you have to assemble all the wires and build it yourself? How much would you have to build of this lamp if Lego were to release it? That would be hilarious if Lego now release some sort of Star Wars lamp or something. The Acclamator lends itself well to MIDI scale size. Also, the Anakin can double as a Revenge of the Sith Anakin. That's why it's such a great minifigure, and Lego did an amazing job this new year. I feel like I added a few words in there, but got the same point across. That is exactly why I'm looking forward to buying the Anakin. I have a handful of Anakins. I have a Anakin Pod Racer, which doubles as sort of a Tatooine. I want to mock up from the end of Phantom Menace when Anakin's being knighted. He's in some youngling Jedi robes, and I want to mock up that sort of minifigure. And then I've got a Attack of the Clones, a Clone Wars Anakin already, which I got custom from Filoni Clones, which was really, really cool. I'm missing an unburned unsith Revenge of the Sith. Is my Sith Anakin burnt up? My Sith Anakin might be burnt up. And then I have a dark side Anakin with the eyes, with a robe where he's marching on the Jedi Temple. And then I have burnt up Anakin in the suit from Kenobi, angry Darth Vader from the start of, I called it Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi, and then a happy Vader from the end of Return of the Jedi, which I really like about that old Vader head. And I think I'm only missing those two Anakins. There are definitely a few other costumes. There are a few Clone Wars ones that we've got from older sets that maybe I'll pick up, but the main ones, I'm missing a Revenge of the Sith Anakin and a Youngling Anakin that I do want to mock together. Anakin and Younglings don't always go well together, but in this case, I think it looks pretty cool. I'm still... Oh, that's because... Oh no, that's because I've missed a few pieces. Is there one on... No, Lego have missed a few pieces. There is a mistake in the instruction book and I'm calling Lego out. Breaking news, Lego have forgot to include a step where the ingot gets put on Knuckles' arm in their instructions. And now Lego as a company are doomed. Their profits have crashed. The stock markets are gone and Lego will never make another Sonic set again. But in all fairness, it is really interesting to see when Lego... It was on the previous page. I didn't realize I was looking at the wrong side. Oh dear, well that's embarrassing. Anyway, yeah, it's really interesting to see all the new minifigures as well, because something like Anakin, they couldn't have reused an Anakin. When's the last time we got an Anakin Skywalker minifigure? We've got to have had one since 2018, right? Oh, there we go. But I don't remember. I don't think we have had one since 2018. It's been quite a while. That's 7 years. Maybe we've had one. I guess we got Anakin in the Sith Infiltrator in Maul last year. But like a fully grown Revenge of the Sith Clone Wars style Anakin Skywalker we haven't seen for quite a while in Lego. So the Eater is definitely going to be popular. I've been watching a ton. In fact, even today, it's the 4th of January. People are still coming out with their January haul videos and I am eating them up. I am watching them back to back to back. And apologies if I do end up watching yours and don't like and comment, or like and don't comment, because I just try to get it in. I have it on autoplay. So it gets towards the end of the video and I'm like, oh, quick, leave a comment. Oh, no, I forgot to like. Oh, quick like. No, I forgot to leave a comment. And it just plays the next video. I could press back, I should press back and go back and, like, leave a lovely comment or say what I wanted to about it. So many times it just plays on, and at that point, it's too late, and I just let it keep on playing. But I don't watch much Lego content. I don't really watch. I've turned to podcasts whilst I'm building and whilst I'm thinking about mocks to make, or whilst I'm editing videos, I'll have like a podcast on in the background. And I do watch quite a few podcasts actually, and I haven't really watched much Lego content besides the fact the January releases have come out and there's been a load of that content. And yeah, as I said, I've just been watching pretty much everything anyone is putting out. Like it doesn't have to be any of these big tubers or big LAN members, just anyone that puts out a video. Chances are chances aren't high, but there is a chance that I've watched it. And again, I do apologize if I haven't managed to like or comment or both. Not a case of having to, but it's a case of I like to know if I've done one, I like having done the other. Otherwise, it just seems a bit odd. But the reason I brought this up is because, I think that the reason I brought this up is because the Star Wars sets, I have made another mistake, so I should probably be paying a little more attention to this. The Star Wars sets have been flying off shelves. Every video I've seen, people have been grabbing, the last Eater or the last, not even just Star Wars sets, there were also Animal Crossing sets. Star Wars and Animal Crossing sets have been flying off the shelves. They have been doing so well. And I've done the wrong one. Okay, this can be this hand, and I'll build the other hand. I wouldn't say Animal Crossing is, too grand of a release this year. The Celeste set is a cheap set. It explains why it's going, much like the Polybag they've released as well. That will probably be gone before long. but I wouldn't say any of the other sets really stand out too much, but most of them have been flying off shelves and really, really difficult to pick up. So it's safe to say we'll be getting a few more Animal Crossing sets, and I think that also includes a Blathers Museum as well, some point in the not so far distant future, perhaps over in the summer. So I'm calling that for sure. Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh, no. Have I put it on the wrong one? Right, this hand goes in here. Likewise with the Star Wars sets, we're getting a turbo tank. It's Revenge of the Sith's anniversary. Empire Strikes Back. There might be something. Empire, is it Empire's 80? So it's Empire's 45th anniversary this year. Interesting that we're still getting Return of the Jedi ships. And it is a little shame that we didn't get any more Return of the Jedi ships when it was Return of the Jedi's anniversary. But it's safe to say LEGO don't mind too much about anniversaries, which is nice because on a year that isn't Clone Wars anniversary, we get a ship like Ahsoka's Ita, which we wouldn't do if they only published, you know, a handful of sets for the anniversary. That's a dangerous. Every 5 years of LEGO Star Wars, well, it's been 25, 30 years, and then maybe like 40 years, it makes sense. But every single year gets a bit too much, and with all the Star Wars content we're getting, we'd just be getting anniversary sets. We wouldn't be getting any other sort of play sets. But it's good LEGO didn't reuse the Mustafar Anakin this time like they did 5 years ago. Oh, 2020. Yes, 2020 we got the sets that I was talking about. Not 2018. Close enough, but still not bang on. They used the wrong printing for Obi-Wan in Grievous fight. The burnt Anakin and Kenobi, that was... I'm trying to think of something that was recent like that, and I can't think of anything, but that was not a good time for LEGO Star Wars. They just put the burnt up minifigures in absolutely everything. Is this an illegal technique? And that just for accuracy, LEGO like saying that only the best is good enough, and sometimes, and it is only sometimes, with how many LEGO Star Wars sets they release, but they do let things slip through. And yeah, it's not a good look. It really isn't a good look. Oh, it's not illegal. It's not technique. That definitely looks like it was about to be illegal. And there's also some red droid arms, which remind me of the droid from the Aftermath book series. It was Mr. Bones. Reminds me of Mr. Bones, because what I saw of Mr. Bones was sort of like a dark red or bright red. I can't exactly remember. Battle droid, B1 battle droid, red of some kind, covered in bones. I'd love to have some sort of mock of Mr. Bones in LEGO. That's definitely a character that is definitely a character on my radar for future mocks. Speaking of, ton of future mocks planned here on the channel. Honestly, I could start talking about them, but not only would we be here forever, there's also a chance that half of them just aren't going to happen because my list is so long. I want to do one for The Mandalorian. I think there is one minifigure they couldn't have given us with this set. They might have been able to... We'll get back to that in a second. We are so close to finishing up on this. Let's not dwindle, take any more time. Let's finish this up, and then we'll get on to that one minifigure from The Mandalorian. Sonic sets have been confusing, very, very confusing, because I feel like we're coming to the end and I've got extra pieces. Where are these extra pieces from? I have no idea. Oh, I know where this one is. This one's meant to go on the back. And then hopefully you can watch this stream later on in the year. And we're not going to put any of the stud shooters in. I don't want... Oh, hold on. We've got three. There's three of those back things. I don't want to injure myself or anyone else. Who knows how far they could be flying off. Yeah, it is 3 for here. So it looks like we haven't made any mistakes. Knuckles mech is complete. And taking a look at this, I think this is a solid set. I definitely want to do something with this mech. There are so many things, Star Wars and otherwise, that we can do. And I like this little backwards. Let me... Oh, wait, have I put this on backwards? I've put this on backwards. I like this little... I'm going to call it an escape pod. I don't think that is the purpose. I think this is just a modular bit that has been built, you know, aside from the rest of the mech. But I really like the fact that that pops off. We can get Knuckles. not holding on to the control because he has some really cool boxing gloves, which are different to, I thought they were hand pieces. I didn't realize they were actual gloves that go on top of the hands, which is really, really funny. I think the legs look like they're unfinished, and they are finished. That's not a mistake. There are no pieces missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are there only 7 sets in there? Are there only 7? No, there's more than 7 now, but was there only 7 sets? I know I've got 3 of them, but this set is really, really cool. We've got the little play feature of Rouge and the Bat Wing. I don't think we can call it a bat wing. It's got to be like a mini bat wing. But this is a really, really fun mech. It reminds me of all the other mechs. I wish I had the Sonic, the Sonic, Tails, and Amy mech built to go alongside this. Perhaps we'll have to rebuild some of them in the future. I have to sit and think on that. But to go back to the Mandalorian sets, we're all Star Wars fans here, aren't we? All Lego Star Wars fans? Or do we have any Sonic fans that have seen the thumbnail? Let me know down in the chat. But for this set, we've got Paz, we've got Gideon, we've got 2 guards. Who do I sacrifice? I think we could sacrifice, hear me out, we listen, we do not judge, hear me out. We sacrifice Gideon. Gideon is no longer in this set. That's going to be a hot take. And we put one of the Mandalorians from the Battle Pack in this set. We've got 2 guards. That lines up with a 3 from the Advent. Do we need 2 guards? They put them in the Advent. Do we need 3? All right. Do we need 3? But then, I don't know about this. All right, I might regret this. No, we'll go with my first take. We'll move Moff Gideon out. But the battle pack's not meant to have named characters. Okay, we are going to put Gideon, 1 guard, Paz, and Paz's son, Ragnar Vizsla, who I'm not sure if he must have been there because he was there at the end scene. He must have watched his dad just get like brutally gunned down. And then we put Ragnar instead of one of the Praetorians. The Praetorians show up later. It'd be nice to have a few of them. But then we have 2 Mandos. We could have 2 Commandos, 2 Mandos battle pack as it is. We then have another battle pack with 2 Praetorians and 2 more Mandos. Perhaps one of those resembling Costco, one of those resembling Axe-Woves. Who knows? I think I've gone too far with this. Do we have time? Do we have time to build? I have the instructions up for the other Mandalorian set. I think I'll probably build that off camera just so we can talk a bit more about these sets and just go over all the other updates that I talked about in this video. So I will be building this and probably doing a video because I really, really like the modular aspect to these. So we've built Sonic's mech, you can see that, and the Mando set that will be built off camera, and we have a ton of spare. Well, not a literal ton, but we do have a ton of spare pieces, and we got that bonus piece from the Mandalorian set. I'll let you know in that video if that is from the other set. But this has been my January haul. Again, let's bring out the Onyx Cinder, which will be built in the next 2 weeks, possibly, maybe, quite probably. Hello there again, Kid Wonder Stories. Nice to have you back. I think Lego will do an updated Clone Wars Obi-Wan in his Revenge of the Sith type design. I would love to see something like that later this year. So as far as future sets, we've got rumored like the Turbo Tank. We've got rumored, I think, like a 327 Star Corps. I have a Bly already, so I'm not really fussed about Bly coming in the set. It'd be nice to get a battle pack with just the regular clones. I wouldn't mind getting an Ayla Secura in there as well. But then if you throw in Ayla Secura, you've got to throw in Bly and, you know, named figures. I would rather just have the Clone Trooper so I can amass a small army of those. I'm sure I can make that. I can't make room anywhere for them, but I'd love to have at least one of them on the wall here. I'll need another hexagon for that. And as you can see, it's already expanded below or at the top. I think the audio has died. That's a sign we've been streaming for too long. It's a good thing we're not building the other set. I do have a backup mic at hand, thankfully, just for these situations. But I was basically saying the Eater should come with Kenobi as well, because we've got Anakin, we've got Ahsoka. We might as well have Kenobi in there and the droid. 4 minifigures for slightly more expensive than this set. Why wasn't Kenobi in the set? It gives Lego a chance also to sort of undo their mistake of their Anakin and Kenobi burn outfits as well from the Mustafar sets in 2020, as we've brought up. Hopefully the audio, yeah, the audio is good now. And Lego Clone Wars is the equivalent of the Polar Express as an uncanny valley. That's a very I've not seen Clone Wars and Polar Express in the same sort of. I guess so. Yeah, that's definitely something. Well, I've never thought of that before, but I'd love to see some Polar Express. Just one Polar Express. Let's not get carried away. One Polar Express Lego set, because Lego like their trains. Polar Express is a train. Yeah, that could be quite good actually. But hopefully we can see soon what Lego Star Wars has to offer this year. Again, if you are a member, be sure to join the Discord as well. The link should be over on the members join page. I'm not sure if you can see it again. You should be able to somehow. I'm sure you'll be able to find that out. And we talk about different releases as well as here every week now live on the channel. This has been the first live stream of 2025. Thank you so much to everyone, all 75 of you that have joined us here. And 16 likes. We finally hit 16 likes. I don't know when we hit it, but we hit it at some point between me saying it and hitting it now. Clone Wars really is beautiful. I've got to go back and rewatch Clone Wars. I was going to watch Monkey Kid as well over Christmas. Did not get around to that. So that is definitely on my list. But I think I'll probably be watching Clone Wars first before that. Again, if you aren't watching Skeleton Crew, definitely be sure to give it a little try over the next 2 weeks. We will be talking about it as we build this set. And there might be a few mocks, a few custom minifigures from the show as well coming up. I've just realized that the box is actually a really big tray. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see it. There's a few bits of tape around the outside, and it's going to be a massive tray. I'm so excited to open that. But next week, join us here live on the channel as we turn this set into a diorama. And I have no idea how it's going to go. Again, it will probably be another 2-3 hours long stream, but I'm really intrigued to what features we can keep from this and carry over from the battle pack, because they are very different builds. Some of them have, well, there's a lot of slopes, that's for sure, but it'd be interesting to see what we can put together and the different interiors and scenes we can create. So I think that is all from today's stream. We've built the 2025 Lego haul, which I am pointing to all the wrong sets here. We have showed off what we've got in the future and just enjoyed the first stream. Again, if you didn't watch the rest of the stream, we've got the fund, which is for all future sets built live here on the channel exclusively. All donations go straight into that fund, and it's only built for sets. We welcome some brand new members if you are interested. There will be a BTS that I recorded just before this stream of how I record streams. Just a quick little video to help you prepare. If you are looking to go live on YouTube or really any other platform, it can be applied to. And that is all for today. The mic is dead. I'll be sure to charge that for next week. It looks like 3 hours is going to be our limit. Shout out to everyone in the chat for pointing that out to me. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy your night, if it is night or wherever it is. And may the bricks be with you.